Futures back in positive territory here, extending pre-market gains, in fact, as the market digests positive comments coming out of the Ukraine. Discussions between Russian officials and Ukraine appear to be heading in the right direction, to a point where they're now saying that a direct meeting between Zelensky and Putin now definitely on the table. So ceasefire discussions not yet underway, but appears to be heading in the right direction. That caused a nice move to the upside in the futures overall. Crude oil, on the other hand, big spike to the downside on that same headline. We'll have a look at both here coming up. We're also going to get key economic gauge coming up at 10 o'clock. Consumer confidence data coming at 10 a.m. this morning. So mark that one down. The Dow yesterday and S&P both in positive territory. 94 points for the Dow, about 0.7% for the S&P. The NASDAQ was a big outperformer on the day, though, up 1.3% at the end of the day. All about the meme stocks again this morning. We'll have a look at AMC, GME, obviously the big ones from yesterday. A whole bunch of other kind of secondary names moving around here in the pre-market once again this morning. Tesla back on watch as well. It was above 1,100, and then Credit Suisse came out and said, yeah, they might not meet their Q1 delivery numbers. So that caused that spike to the downside on Tesla. We'll have a look at that as well. It's Tuesday, March 29th, 2022. TraderTV.live starts now. Yeah, there we go. Look at some positive numbers, nicely positive right across the board here. The NASDAQ once again leading the way, more than a full percent so far. The S&P 0.8, the Dow there 0.6% to the upside. Yeah, crude oil just making a fresh low. So it's actually 6.25% now to the downside for crude, not 4.8. Bitcoin and Ethereum back to the upside. Let's jump right into things here, guys, because we got a lot to cover this morning. Good morning, guys. Big things happening apparently over in Ukraine as far as the momentum that these discussions are heading. They have now come out and said more discussions will continue tonight. And the quote that really moved the market, it seemed like, guys, was that one that suggested that a direct meeting between Zelensky and Putin now definitely on the table, and ceasefire discussions to come.
Yeah, you absolutely have to like that news. Let's be real about it. Like, just from every single aspect. I mean, unless you were at that particular moment long oil futures, then you're going to be applauding it. The market has been booming since it came down, and oil actually at the 50 period. So, you know, getting into some support where it bounced last time should be interesting to watch some of those names continue to be in play, whether it's Chevron, whether it's Oxy. I just feel like the way the market's been on fire, let's hope this isn't like we finally get the good news and we like pull the rug, because you're breaking out. There's so many things that, looking at the last couple of weeks, are at levels where they're breaking out on like the 15 or the daily chart. So hopefully not a rug pull today, because there's lots of really good actual setups for breakouts today.
Yeah, what's up, guys? Yeah, yesterday was a wild one, to say the least. I mean, we were trading Tesla, both you and I, a couple crazy trades. You were hitting up GameStop. I was on AMC, and hopefully we'll be able to do the same today. But remember, guys, you got to trade like what's happening and the momentum in the market. And right now, AMC's at $28. It's only done 1.8 million, but it did 200 million. I just ran into Greg, and he was like, "Oh my God, did you see the AMC yesterday? 200 million." And I was like, "Yeah, it was an absolutely insane day." And those are the stocks you want to trade. So, yeah, oil with a crazy move again, down that 6.3%, or now almost 7%. Just taking out $100 right now, down to 98. It's over here. Hold on a second. Let me just put this up to you. Here it is, right here. So this is the minute right now. We've just been a nice little tank here. Apparently, like we just said there, if Russia and Ukraine can sort of come to an agreement, or at least a ceasefire or a standstill on some of this ongoing battles, then you're going to see what happens with oil, right? Oil comes back down to the downside because supply, I guess the thought is that it opens back up again. So there you go, down to $98, $99. I did not yesterday step into anything, and I was saying that to Neil, that today now is going to be the day, I guess. I really like the XLE. I still like those names. Oxy's down to $52, $53 right now. I think you got to buy oil. I don't think it's going anywhere. I think this story is just temporary. Look, I hope that everything gets resolved there. with Russia and Ukraine. I don't think that's the be-all, end-all for this story. So we're going to wait to see what happens with oil here. But the XLE is approaching this 70, 72 area. If we get down to like that 50 period, which we'll see what happens today. But, you know, anywhere around here, I think it's going to be a buy for me. So we're going to wait on that one. But look, I'm excited. We're already into Ford. So, you know, maybe lower gas prices maybe affects Ford a little bit here as well. So we'll see if that can get going to the upside. We're long Ford through 17. I like it on a technical break. And like Neil mentioned, and Brendan, you know, there's lots of opportunities here today. AMD's at key levels. I put a few different ones here on the sticky note as well, but we're getting ready to rock and roll. We're always ready here at Day Trade the World and Trader TV Live.
Yeah, NVIDIA as well, guys, looking really strong here in the pre-market on decent volume. Crude oil trading heavy volume. The futures contract right now, unbelievable, down 6.3%. Remember, it was down 10% at the end of the day yesterday. Before we go any further, let's bring in Miss V. Good morning.
Good morning, trading family. It's going to be a busy and exciting day. Please enjoy your trading. Smash the like button and let's get it started, Brendan.
Yeah, let's get it started, guys. Lots to get through as we head towards the open. Under an hour to go here. This was the headline that caused a bit of a move to the downside for Tesla here in the pre-market. It gapped above 1100, still above 1100, obviously, but there was a bit of a move to the downside on a volume spike. Credit Suisse came out with this note saying there is a risk of the company missing Q1 delivery forecasts, supply concerns, COVID-19 constraints, the reason. So, yeah, we're still up, obviously, on the day here, guys, but Tesla back to the downside a little bit here.
Yeah, it was weird timing. I'm glad you found that
Lies.
story. It's such a small move in Tesla, that candle, and I think it was $6, and we're gapping above 1100, so it's not a significant amount, but that was in the context at that time, like everything was running, and it's like, why would we have that red candle? Okay, fair enough. Look, I don't really think that's going to move the needle. When I was popping the daily up on Tesla, you know, the first thing that sort of stuck out is just not just how great the rally has been, but if you look at yesterday's move, that was hands down one of the 4 or 5 biggest intraday moves that we've seen in Tesla. Sorry, one single day move we've seen in Tesla in the last year. And if you kind of go through and sort of pick each one of those massive movers, the next day has been red, with the exception of when it gaps up on a day like that and holds and opens above the previous close, it's run every single time. And when it's been unable to do that, it's actually fallen every single time. And you can check my math on that, but did spend some time this morning looking at it. So I like it above 1,090. And if you get below that price, you know, it could signal a reversal, but holding above that has been pretty bullish. When you've had a monster move like this in Tesla and then you gap above, it tends to want to run higher. This is not like yesterday where you have obvious sort of levels to point to. Like, remember 1100, we're saying you get to 1100, you take your shot shorting it. It didn't quite get there, but there was a good pullback. You don't really have that unless you get to 1150, and then 1200 is the granddaddy of. I mean, that's the low. That was the lower high from January. So, you know, that's we come and see that price this week, and it's going to be absolutely nuts if we can get there. But don't write anything off. I know we're $40 away from 1150. It might seem like crazy, but the first look I'm looking for is actually buying in front of 1090. Opens above there, and history says it's another long day.
The last time they announced split, they went up 75%. So, okay. Yeah, so we're going to wait to see what happens here tomorrow, today, the next day, everything, because, I mean, this Tesla's just going to continue to be a maniac stock. You got to continue to trade this one. If you're looking at levels, great. But what I did yesterday was very similar to what I hope to do today. We left it alone for a little bit. We got into it at 940, let it make a level, and then develop something to go off of. So let me see if I can zoom in a little bit here yesterday. This is where we had the $20 win. But, you know, you find out these levels. So yesterday in the pre-market, we made this bottom at 1059. Then we tested lower. It bounced off 1050. And then we took it, breaking back through some of those pre-market levels in VWAP at that time. That was a $7 or $8 winner. Then we waited for it to go all the way up. And it kept bouncing its head off 1080. So we were spitting in the face of like 15 bucks. Then it came back down and we got out for flat the last little bit. Then we punched along again. And this is where we had the big winners, long at 1066 and some outs here at 1088. So $22. $11. And then we really didn't trade in the afternoon. So I think we're going to try to do the same thing here today. Of course, we never got the 1100 break opportunity. What a surprise. It breaks over the night there. So we're now above 1100. So you just use 1100 now as support. And that's, I think, what you have to do now. We'll let it drop down into 1100 here. I said lies because it's just going to be a lie. We already heard what they did this with Apple as well. I don't know if it was the same guys, but remember they came out and said, oh, Apple's going to have supply chain issues. And then the very next day, or they were not going to meet their forecasted demand or whatever it was for their phones. The very next day, I think someone else, or they retraced it back, and then Apple popped again. So I'm not worried. They've opened up their Berlin factory. I know that they're going to meet all their demand. And you know what? Why? That's not even a bad thing. Like, you're not going to meet all the demand you have. I mean, let's just get real here and get focused. We saw them pumping out cars out of their China plant. Now they got Berlin going. We know the Tesla story, and it's going to keep on going. So I think you get long anywhere around here. We have nice support in the 1090s. 1098, 1100, and the bottom today is 1105. So I'm going to let it chill out for a bit, and then we're going to go crazy on Tesla. Hopefully, if we can dip around 1100, then we can accelerate back to the upside. But you have to have outs. I think that's important. I would not short the stock. And I know someone else who I've never really seen put a short on ever for Tesla. I'm going to go right over to her right now. What's up, Ms. V?
Yes, Sean, hopefully Tesla will go to the moon, but we will be ready for all the directions. And by the way, my morning is already amazing, as Isa Mohammed sent me 6 super chats already. Thank you so much, Isa. I wish you a beautiful day. You deserve the best. And now let's go back to Brandon.
All right, let's continue along here, guys. We have, if you were worried there wasn't going to be enough to look at today, a lot of people circulating this right now on online. The Hill. .com reporting that the House is set to, pass a bill to legalize marijuana this week, which would obviously have to then go through the rest of the lawmaking stages. But I just saw Tilray has already done 1 million shares on the morning, and it's 8:42. So some of these cannabis stocks waking up a little bit here this morning.
Yeah.
Little wake and bake action going on there, Brendan?
I see what you're doing there, Brendan.
Yeah, I see what Brendan's doing.
Not bad at all. Look, the House passing the bill, is that really the bigger story? The bigger story when the Senate, if the Senate, and if it gets there, what will happen then? I think everyone sort of understands that, but that doesn't mean we can't take advantage of the trade, because I think Tilray, and I got to double check the alert that I set last week to make sure I'm doing them right. I just started using these. But Tilray at about $7 was just a wipeout bottom down there. It looks like we're already running away from the higher low at 760. I still feel like it's going to have some resistance. I tried the long break at 850. You guys, on I think was it Friday? Yeah, on Friday, the long break at 850. It just couldn't go. And when you consider that you've made one leg up here, really this is only half the story. So it's always going to be trouble to make that secondary breakout. But if this is the catalyst that'll get it going, I'm sort of open to looking at, and it won't be 850 because you got a new fresh high. It'd have to be that new 875. If we can actually get some breaks on Tilray, I'd probably scalp that at least off a 75 level. But I much prefer, and what I was hoping would happen in yesterday's trade, which is getting down to that $7 level. That's the price I put the alert for. As usual, if you get to any resistance levels up at the top, you ask, well, why wouldn't I short in front of resistance? If you get to resistance levels on the top in Tilray or any of the cannabis names and they start to turn, I just want to check out what Sundial is doing and short that thing, because liquidity is great and it tends to be a little bit of a lagger. That was a trade that worked all last week, and I think going back to that well in the event that there's a rollover, much the same way that was a better play with whether it's GameStop costs or just finding something that is related or sympathy, but not necessarily as strong, and then you short that off the high or short that on the curl instead of jumping into the one that likely has a little bit more upward momentum. But Tilray still in the middle, unfortunately, of its range. Not too exciting after it's already broken 40 or 50 cents here.
Yeah, I was just looking at BBIG, which we had yesterday, if you guys remember, about 290, and then now my chart's, okay, there it's going. BBIG now just at 311 there, so we're going to have a look at that here today as well. We're already into Ford. I'm just going to make sure. Okay, 1696. Okay, yeah. So I like Canopy. I mean, I like them both, but at the same time, this bill's not going to get passed through Senate. It's not going to make its way through, and it's just you got to fade any sort of a move to the upside. But again, I don't think there is any move right now. So 1.7 7% is absolutely nothing. Like Brendan said, whether or not it gets passed, I don't think it really matters right now. We need to get a little higher. It needs to go through all the other regulatory issues and legal issues, I guess, not regulatory. But now we're going to wait to find out here if it goes up through $9. I mean, that's really the play. On all of that news, on all the rumors, we did stop at $9 there on the 25th. So that's where we have to break out. So if we break out through 9 on CGC, then we'll dance. But other than that, I mean, no real volume here today. I didn't even really realize we'd be talking about this. But CGC is now above the 50 period, which is pretty nice. So if it comes back down to 750, I think you could buy it. I mean, it has the all-time, it's not the all-time low because these things started as penny stocks, but $6 here is pretty low for CGC. So if you're thinking that, the stock price is going to get high, then yeah, I mean, you want it to break through some of these levels. For me, the ultimate level, we talked about this yesterday, until something changes, my rhetoric's going to be the same. It needs to break through $10, right? And for a day trade, I think, you get excited when it breaks through this 9. So today, if we can somehow rally, and this is a big move up, it needs to go up 10% at least, right, to take out this $9. I don't know if that happens today. If it does, then I want to push it. So we'll go $9 on CGC. If not, then forget about it. And then as a hold in your long-term accounts, I like to see it break 10. If it breaks 10, then I think, you get some momentum there, and you won't feel like you missed the party if it starts to go higher, because, you have the 50 period where you can get out, which would at that point would probably be like $8 or $9. And I think it's worth it. I think the long-term trend here hopefully will start to reverse itself, and you get some positive talk from the feds.
All right, let's bring in Jeff Mendel, VP OTC Markets, to have a look at what is active over on OTC over the past couple of trading sessions. Good to see you as always, Jeff. Welcome. An interesting morning setting up here once again. Just double checking. Bitcoin trying at least to get back above 48,000 once again this morning. A monster move, though, coming out of Sunday into Monday. On that note, how are you, by the way?
Good. How are you guys? Thank you, Brendan. Good to see you again.
Good to see you as well.
Sean looks a little bit more tan than usual, too.
Sean was in Miami on last, what was it, Wednesday, Sean? Wednesday to Sunday.
Yep.
I'm sure you had a great time, Sean, especially looking at your Instagram feed. So always awesome to see that. So anyway, yeah. Thank you for the segue into GBTC and ETHE. So GBTC was trading down, I think, around 27 last week. Now in the pre-market right now, I'm seeing prints going off above $33. So that's definitely something to look at on OTCX right now. There's actually a bid at 33 even. So definitely a lot of activity in GBTC this morning. Let's go over to ETHE. Kind of the same deal. Decent amount of activity. It's trading up around 29. So both the major grayscale names are up in the pre-market today. So actually, I wanted to shift over. You guys were talking about some of the cannabis names before I got on, and I'm not really seeing much activity in any of the names so far in the pre-market. So I will keep an eye on it, and I'll actually ping you guys if any of the names start to pop up, like a CURLF. And since we're talking about it, as many of you guys probably already know, it's one of the names that actually trades up in Canada, but also down here as well on OTC Markets Group.
Yeah, going to be a headline type of event. We'll wait and see what comes out of Washington on that note. I also see I have the most active site on your website, Jeff, up here that we can show to everyone. Great resource if you trade the OTC markets. Go to their website, go to the current market, most active. Gives you a breakdown of what is trading. Tencent, top of the list there yesterday, doing all kinds of volume.
Yes, still lots of volatility, with all the news coming out of China. So Tencent has always been a name with a lot of liquidity and lots of trading. In the pre-market today, it is up slightly. There's a bid at 48.23. Yesterday it closed at 47.42. So definitely trading up in the pre-market. So TCEHY, one to look at. Another name actually that I'm seeing a decent amount of activity in the pre-market today is Adyen. It's a Dutch payment company. The ticker is ADYEY. That's ADYEY. I'm seeing that it's trading up around $1.50 to $2 in the pre-market today, with a little bit of volume. So maybe something will pick up here once the market opens. That's ticker ADYEY.
Great resource for traders regardless to have a look at some of the ADRs from over in Europe as well. What we like to do in the pre-market, or one thing we like to do in the pre-market, is see how sentiment is coming out of the European session going into North America. So OTC market, a great place to find a lot of those names as well, Jeff.
And thanks again, Brendan.
Great stuff. Jeff Mendel, VP OTC Markets. Always good to have him on to have a look at some opportunities on the OTC markets as we head towards another busy day. Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you, guys.
Let's jump into a few other things we need to know here. I'm just making sure there isn't anything else coming across here because the futures guy is trying to get back to the upside. There was a note on Roku I saw again this morning, not a name that we have looked at over the past couple of days, but Roku adding IQIYI, which is that Chinese streaming platform, to their platform, so more content coming for Roku. But again, there's so much to look at today.
There's tons to look at, but you know what? I'm just going to throw Jeff under the bus for a quick second, because when I saw you guys side by side, I feel like Jeff got a haircut.
I know,
and he's trying to emulate the Brendan look. That's what I saw.
Flattery. I mean, it's fantastic.
Nobody can, of course. Right?
Neil was sitting here, was like, Jeff looks different. And I was just like, yeah, I don't know what it is, but very handsome gentleman, that's for sure. And then he got the matching haircuts and everything. But big shout out to Jeff Mendel for sure. I did want to, before we get into that, one name that I thought he was going to talk about that he didn't, which is fine, is just I noticed while I was gone here, Rolls Royce, and again, it's not like, it trades well. It's just our sheet here. We don't have any pre-market trading, but it did almost 20 million shares. I don't know if they reported a couple days ago or something. I wasn't here, but it went from 125 to 150. Now it's back down to 130. It's had a little bit of an increased volume. I just want to bring up RYCEY only because it does do decent volume there, and I do like the name. Just where it's gone. And again, I'll apologize. It's not like a new stock or anything like that. It's just one of those EV names. And we talked about marijuana, obviously very popular. So is crypto over there on his exchange, but all the ADRs. And here's another one, Rolls Royce. It's RR, I believe, in London. Let me see, RR. Hopefully I have London entitlements here. No, I don't. I think it's RR, but I think there's something wrong. I think it's like RR dot or something like that.
Oh, it's 2 dots.
Is it 2 dots? Yeah, there's something about it. RR.
No, I'm wrong.
No, RR dot. Hello?
I thought
it's one.
Okay, never mind.
But anyways, here it is. So this is just another name. And of course, if you're with us here at Day Trade the World, then you can, trade on the London exchange as well. But the ADR would be over there, over on Mr. Mendel's exchange, the OTC. So it did do 19 million shares, 20 million shares as well over here in London. So, and you see a nice little bump up there. But again, up and down. Just another name that's involved with some of these EV talks and whatnot. I believe that they're trying to go their whole fleet electric as well, but that's Rolls Royce. And then we talked about it yesterday with GBTC, right? I mean, as you're going to watch and trade Bitcoin, these are great tools to get into. They definitely follow the underlying, asset themselves. But again, my charts here just aren't cooperating. So we'll move on from that. But Jeff Mendel, definitely thanks for bringing the heat there on the OTC markets.
All right, let's get some upgrades and downgrades for you this morning. We have NVIDIA on the list, talking some chip strength with a price target and upgrade from Tigris Financial. Etsy's had a rough ride over the past few weeks to the downside, back to the downside again this morning, ever so slightly. Price target cut. Ocugen, I haven't talked about that one for a while, and XPEV, guys.
Yeah, one of the names on that list, obviously with the positive news, potential positive news that's coming out of the Ukraine, it's going to be good for the semis. And that's why you see NVIDIA going on the daily, just a gorgeous look. Like we can pretty much write off those 72, 73s that we were able to get Friday and yesterday because we're now finally breaking out of this range. It's at mid-80s, at 285. We're gonzo now. And, this made that break. And I didn't have a stop order there. I had one on Facebook, didn't have one on NVIDIA. It was a little bit earlier when that made the move. If we can get any kind of a dip into 85, risk to 282, then I definitely want this one to the long side. And shout out to Rolling Records, because I think when we said there were a lot of things breaking out today, or at least setting up for these types of breaks, here's Uber, which last week got the news with the taxis in New York. It got the London news as well, getting an extension and now you're breaking out finally past this 35, 36 area off the 200. There's so much room for this to catch up. I do like the dip as well here. It moved a little bit too early. I'm actually going to go with both the bids here. I just want to make sure I get something out in front of that 35. But this is risk to 34.60, and that was, if you just look at the afternoon and on yesterday, you were able to hit that 34.60 mark and have a nice little consolidation there. It was a bit of a top in the morning. On Friday, that's where we fell off from, that 34.60 level. Sort of remember that well because Arun and I were trading it for a couple of days. So I like the long in Uber till then. If this ends up being a rug pull, well, at least there's good dip buy prices where you know where the line in the sand looks like it should be. So that's usually a good way to set up for some of these longs. It's just a shame that so many went so early. I ended up catching the one that I probably liked fourth or fifth best because it hadn't gone as quickly. Like the last thing I saw break out was Facebook. So that's the one I'm in.
You guys remember before I left, last one, Tuesday, I guess, and I was like all over Facebook, man. I was loving those valuations there, anywhere near that 200. I think Facebook is a stock to own. I've been buying it at those levels, and I actually like that everyone's hating on Facebook because everyone's like, nobody uses Facebook. Who cares about Facebook? Like, everybody uses Instagram. Everybody uses WhatsApp. And then, of course, they're throwing billions and billions of useless dollars at the metaverse. That is my biggest concern right now. Like, when Mark Zuckerberg comes out and introduces the metaverse and it looks like a cartoon show, I'm not too happy with that. But, I mean, at the same time, they're making money hand over fist. I think Facebook needs to be bought, so I'm glad that Neil's looking at that one as well. Look, AMD for me today on the break. I mean, if we break this 123, I said 123.30 in the sticky note. You can find it at Trader TV, Sean. And it's just, I don't know. Let me see. Hold on a second. It's not on this chart, but the 123.30 level I really liked. I mean, I guess it must have been wicked up here in the pre-market, but 123.30 breaking out of these levels. You can use 123 flat. You do have here on the 1 minute some nice bounces, even in the pre-market now, almost 1 million shares, so it's worth trading. It's not, you don't have to stay away from it. Just understand that there's a spread here. We're still opening up in 10 minutes. You saw I took my Ford trade, now it's 7 cents against me. So, these stocks will move around a little bit off the open. If we ever get dipped in here, I mean, I said use the 121 as some support rate into here. Yesterday's close, we bumped up and then we sort of bounced around 121 before starting to break higher right now. I really like AMD here. There's the 121 right there a couple days ago. That was, the consolidation. If we get into those areas, I think you got to buy AMD. You're off to the races right now, and I don't think this name stops. So if worst case scenario, you do, I mean, it's not worst case. I guess worst case is we trade a lot lower than this, but down into here, 117, 118, I think you got to buy those names as well. And I want to buy the dips in AMD. It's a very aggressive name when the market starts to rock and roll. So again, I don't have too many names on the watch list today, but AMD is going to be one of them. And I really want to take it, breaking this 123. It's just off the open. Yesterday was a big day, right? You get a little bit of a dip down here, starts to hit down into the open, takes off, comes back, gives us these reload opportunities, just similar to Tesla. So you find out, like, where are the bottoms going to be for the day? Try to let these stocks make bottoms. Like Facebook, you're in Facebook right now, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So Facebook, just as an example, it will rip around way more aggressively than you even think. Right? And so that's the problem, is off the open. And again, sometimes these want to go and sometimes they don't. Like, look at yesterday. And again, I didn't even really look at this yesterday off the open, but like 222 all the way up to 224 within the first 2 minutes, and then came right back down in again before, so that's what I'm talking about. You're going to have a lot of back and forth with these names. I like AMD, and I'd rather it make a bottom somewhere near 121 first, and then we'll see if we can hit this back to the upside. So we'll see if it holds, VWAP 122, then we'll come back into 121 off of the daily rate. Well, the daily is going to be crashed because of that. But back into here, you know, some of these levels, your 50 period, 200 periods, right into here at 118. So I like AMD. I think AMD has a lot of support. I think it's a great long-term buy here as well. So it's just, I don't know if I'd step into any of these tech names because Friday we have non-farm payrolls coming through. And if the market rallies like crazy, which it looks like it's going to do, nice day yesterday, it looks like it's going to be a big one today, up 1.2%. If that continues into non-farm and then the payroll number comes out as great as everybody thinks it is, that just gives more fuel to the Fed to do exactly what they want to do, which is raise rates. But we already know about that. So the balance sheet trimming, the raising of the rates, it's already all there. It's just, I feel like Friday could be a little bit of a swoosh kind of down day to take away some of these profits, but I don't know, man. We're still 4 days away, so.
We got time. But if we're still breaking out into Friday, I think that's the concern. Like, if you haven't had any kind of a pullback, that can change things.
Yeah, lots to come, guys. Let's get Arun in here and get a check of the overall market. We're happy this week. Brought to you by the Small Exchange, guys. They're making it easier to access futures and futures trading. No pattern day trading, less capital than stocks. Get started today with the Small Exchange and futures trading, guys. Arun, it is an interesting morning here, to say the least. Lots of headlines, lots of positivity. Does it hold?
I mean, the way that this market has gone up, every dip has been bought. Every time you think the market's going to return around a little bit, nope. They catch a bid, they turn around, they slowly turn around, and then they accelerate towards the end and then just takes off. And then we carry into the overnight, when we do it all over again. And it looks like with this market having broken 45.50 late in the session, we never stopped, right? We just kept going. We went sideways for a little bit, and then here we are accelerating through 4600. We got through 4610, barely got through 4610. I've got 4620 marked off. Let's just see how this plays out. Do I go for the short? No. With this kind of trend, no, not yet. But if we start to fail these 4600s, we get back underneath, maybe get back underneath 4590 and start to see somewhat of a failed bounce. Because that's what, at this point, that's what I'm expecting, right? From the pattern that we've seen for the last week and a half or so, it's been buy the dips on the future side of things as well. So at some point, that pattern does have to stop. But for the time being, the strength is to the upside. NASDAQ up 1%, S&P up 0.77, decent strength, decent trend, hitting resistance once again. But yeah, here we are catching a bit, well, coming off a little bit now, but here we are kind of trending up, and at some point when we get that break, it's a matter of 45, 60 even is what I'm looking at. 40, 45, 60. If we can break that, then maybe it's time to start looking for shorts or a fade against the 4620. But that fade against the 4620s has to be done very carefully because of the strength of this trend. So 4620 up top for potential resistance, 4560 down below for potential support, and in the event that we get a move down, there could be a buy the dip situation if we can stall south of 4580. So, it's going to be touch and go until we get a decent move in either direction just to open up the levels, because the way we've been going up kind of stacks the levels right on top of each other. So opening up the levels, it doesn't really matter, but just, acceleration 50, 60 points in either direction kind of opens it up a little bit, allows for much easier trading than what we've got recently. So hopefully that's how that happens. 45, 60 down below and 4620 up top.
Great stuff. Thanks, Arun. Yeah, guys, check out the Small Exchange. There's a link at the bottom there. You can use the QR code. It'll take you right to everything you need to know about the Small Exchange. Let's jump into what else we need to know this morning, heading towards the open here. Under 30 minutes to go. That's the link to the website. So many links today. That's the link to the watch list that we send out every single morning. What is it called again? Absolutely free for you every single day before we come on at 8:30. Miss V will help you out in the chat with that. Let's get going here. A lot to get through on the watch list. Meme stocks, top of the list this morning. We'll talk all about AMC, GME mostly, but there's, as I said to start things off this morning, guys, a whole kind of secondary group that we have to kind of keep in mind here as well.
Yeah, and that's sort of the thing. I know a lot of we're moving, but DATS is doing tremendous volume. We saw that previously, and NEG was a big-time mover. Obviously, everyone's going to be primarily focused where they should be, I think, on AMC and GameStop. And sometimes if you use them as your futures or if you're trading them directly, that's going to be the way to go here. putting out on Tesla about every time it's had a move like yesterday, and if it held above the previous close, it was a long. AMC has had one day with a gross move this big where it wasn't a red day in the following session. So it's an interesting pattern. The last time, but let's keep in mind, the last time that was true was back when it went absolutely nuts. And if you go all the way back into June of 2021. And then you can find when that actually happened. So understand it's a bit of a different scenario because you are now breaking back out after long consolidation again. So you ask yourself, does it resemble more like these other green days on the way down?
I mean, we're already going here.
Or if you look at the last time it broke consolidation was the last time this rule was violated. When it was breaking out on the way up was the only times when you saw moves like that. So always try to consider like environment. And are we more like that environment here? Or the environment where we've been essentially grinding back down. You just retook the 50 period and grinding to the upside. So sometimes patterns make sense, like we talked about in Tesla, but other times you have to be a little bit more cautious when using them. And the thing about yesterday's action, $30 is already a monster line in the sand. 24 to 25, if there's any kind of opening rug pull, which sometimes we do see, I just feel if it does drop, I'm looking more like 24, 25. On GameStop, it's a bit of a different story. On GameStop, because it has the overhead 200 on it, I'm going to love 165 because that's where we flip to the long. I think that goes without saying. 165 was a good level on the daily chart. If we pop back into that price, I really like it. I'm not going to take any of these sort of breaking bottoms for sure. Like it sets up for that kind of a quick little short trade. But if I do, my eyes would be on something like DATS. DATS a little bit weaker, and by a little bit weaker, I mean a lot weaker. It just made a couple of days worth of a move. It tried to go again this morning and is already starting to roll over. So if you're looking for a short trade, have a quick look at something which is not displaying near the strength that those names are. It doesn't mean it can't go up. It's just a totally different beast. It's already breaking through support as I look at it here. And I like this one up to about a 275, 280. The first short actually could almost be right here off of 260, but we still have 25 minutes to go to the open.
All right, so we're long right now, AMC. It's right here. It's on the sticky note. We talked about taking down 29. Of course, we love that 24 level like Neil was talking about, 24, 24.50, but we cannot ignore AMC. Yesterday, we smoked the long, and we're already in it just now. I mean, look, we're just doing what we said. Try to find the sticky note, guys. Already 100 likes and 15 retweets. If you guys can get over there. Let's see if we can get 50 retweets. That'd be pretty nice today. We destroyed the long yesterday. There it is. Like, let's go, AMC, man. Your boy's already long right now on this name as it breaks through 29. Look, no real expectations today on this stock. You saw yesterday that we hammered the long at 21, then we hammered it again at 22, and really crushed that stock yesterday. So, coming in today was my number one stock yesterday, and we just favored the long. We did try some shorts in the afternoon, just babying around with it because we couldn't believe it was up 45%. Today, you're actually down on AMC. So, hey, man, if Ape Nation wants to come through, let's do it one more time, guys, here for this monster of a stock and see if we can't get some cash throwing through one more time. We're here to trade, and so I'm in this name. I would love for this name to dip down to that 24 level. I don't know if it's going to happen. Let's see if the momentum comes today. We may have just punched the top. I don't know. We just took some out there at 18s. That's a 20-cent winner right there to start the day off, and it's my only position right now. It's long AMC, and it's Ape Nation, and we're here again. So let's go, cheer this name on and see how far it can go up. I mean, I don't hold any AMC shares. I'm just sitting here as a day trader for this name. 30 would be pretty sweet. I think we test 30. And you know what? Next stop, let's just see. We stopped around 29.50. I'm going to put an offer at like 29.40 right now. We'll take 40 cents on another piece. But I'm not going to do like what we did yesterday and just get out as much as we can on this rip. Like by now, yesterday, I'd be up by half already. We're holding on to this name as it's a buzzsaw right now. Up through 32, 33. I mean, that 29 break, honestly, was pretty good. I wanted to take all even dollar level breaks. So there we go. Already long AMC. Let's go and we'll see if we can get another one, bang, to start the day off. A nice little 30-cent win here. Let's see how far AMC can go. My next offer, though, is at 40, which apparently I'm going to get right now. Yeah, let's go, baby. Here we go. We're starting off the day one more time with another one. Let's drop the money, spit it down. 50 cents already in the money on AMC. It's only 9:10, and the party's just getting started, Brendo.
Crazy volume on all of these already. I mean, even HYMC as well, 31 million shares already in there's still 20 minutes to go. Let's go to Elon's world. It's day 2 after the split announcement, if you want to call it that. They're going to ask shareholders at their annual meeting to vote on another split, which could lead to a dividend. There was also a note I saw this morning, guys. Tesla's market cap is now bigger than the top 20 other automakers combined. So there's that.
Just remember, when you own shares, what actually gets you money out of it, right? Selling it to somebody at a higher price or getting paid a dividend. So I understand historically valuations matter, and yes, price movement will follow it, but that's not necessarily the only thing that's a factor here. Sometimes it's simply about momentum, and that's what we're going to be talking about, at least for Tesla, because if you go down the valuation train, none of that stuff is going to make any sense to you. And you start throwing out stats like that, it's like, really? All 20? Okay, fair enough. I still like that dip into 1090. I set an alert for when it gets to closer to 1100. I just look at that stat and say to myself, if we're holding above this 1190, 1090 I should say, then we definitely like the long again today. It doesn't have nearly the volume. Maybe the story supply chain thing is slowing things down while everything else was breaking out through the top. That probably just gives us some opportunity to maybe buy it at a price that we couldn't have, because I get the feeling that maybe without that story, we would have already broken out on Tesla. So I'm going to be on the bid at the open. What happened yesterday off of that 50 level is I wasn't willing to take 53s. I'll step in front by about $5. The farther Tesla gets up, the more you have to adjust what you consider to be risk in front of a key level, right? There's a big difference, $3 in front of a $600 stock and $3 in front of a $1,200 stock. That should be 5 or 6, relatively speaking, because it's the percentage that matters.
Oh, man. Look, yesterday we crushed Tesla. We'll do it again today if it does set up. But right now we're 70 cents in the money on AMC. So, yeah, we're going to go whoa, 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 whoa. As there we go, man. This was, again, off of the sticky note one more time. I mean, here it is right here. You take the 29, you get this rocking and rolling, and it's a big one again here today for us on this. So you can see, nice, 104 likes, 23 retweets. Means a lot, guys. Thank you so much. I do this for you. I could just do this and not post it, but I'm glad that we're all here as a team together trying to take this long. First spot's out there. Whoa, where's my mouse? First spot 29.20. Next spot 29.40. Next spot 29.50. There's a 29.60. And then right now I'm waiting at 85. Come on, let's go to 85. This is an 85 cent. Again, you just take one trade and you're done. You don't even need to trade anymore today, but we'll do it for you. I'll continue to trade. I'm not going anywhere. There it goes to the upside. All right, Tesla yesterday, monster trade, man. $23 winner we took on a piece, if my chart will load. I'm just loving this action here on AMC, obviously. But there we go. Tesla right now. Yesterday, it's not in here because, of course, my trades disappeared. But that's what we did yesterday. We let it go down off the open, right? Hit that 1055. We talked about this. And then once it made that base and it started to break through VWAP again, that's where we went long here at 1063. And we actually did pretty good. Got out, I think, 75 or 76. Held a little bit. Once it broke back down below 60, we got out. Then we took this break long all the way up here. So we did really well on this. It was a $22 win. But first, we had to find the bottoms, right? And once those bottoms came through, then it was a little more obvious to us on what to do next, and the long was in. So I feel like that's what we need to do here again on Tesla. You can see the bottoms going to probably be 1100, but I want to see it test it, make a base, because right now we don't know. The market's up 1.16%. There was that talk. Brennan mentioned that about the not being able to meet demand or some, what I think was probably not a real story there, coming to the downside. So let's see what that does with Tesla. But if it hits 1100, man, I think you got to buy. You got to buy like 1101s, 1102s, and then either use 1100 or like 1096, 1095, something like that as you're out. But hey, as it goes, what are you supposed to do? Tesla's going to be a monster for a very, very long time. And just to Brendan's point there, yesterday, Tesla added $85 billion of market cap, right? So watch this. All right, so here's Ford. So let's go over here. Ford's market cap, $68 billion. So yesterday alone, Tesla added a Ford and a GM, but or a GM, as here we go again, guys. Spin it. AMC already off of candy money, taking that out. Like, you just go shopping in the candy store, man. 29, I'll take some of that. And boom, you're in money $1.10 right there. So a big, huge monster move up to that 30 level for AMC. But we can't keep talking while we could. But we have Miss V just sitting there, so why not pass it over to her?
Hey guys, welcome everyone who just joined us, and also thank you so much guys for sending us super chats, including Cassie France and Alex Anzo. Team, please make sure you like this video. We need just around 200 more likes to get 1,000, and let's get it before the bout. Brandon?
Let's keep going. Chip makers, anyways. I put NVIDIA on the list because it was doing way more volume than anything else in the pre-market, but I mean, they all kind of look like this now. 2.7 for NVIDIA here, holding at highs or near highs. 300 just right up here, guys, for NVIDIA. Huge bounce back right across the board for the chip makers.
Yeah, like obviously there were some concerns like Xeon and lots of other inputs for the chip makers, and with possibility that you could be a ceasefire, they're going to get that bounce to the upside. And NVIDIA making a nice move. Any kind of dip in front of 285, we talked about this before, down to the 82.5 makes a ton of sense. You're breaking out on the daily chart, as we mentioned before, and it's not to ignore any of the others. Sean went over AMD. I'll pull up. Intel had a huge run to end last week, right? So it's not one that we should be ignoring here as it loads up. You're through that 50. It's got a great level at 52 as well. And it's trying to break this out here as we speak at the open. It doesn't have the volume, and there just has not been enough volume following through this morning. So I do think you want to be thinking about a potential dip buy, specifically in Intel. Like if it was churning through the highs like NVIDIA was, I think you sort of get into this one right now. But this is having trouble breaking through the top. I'm looking down at 50.5 in front of 50, and that looks like a good support level. So we'll see what happens with AMD. Bit of a lag here going on with GameStop. Also at DATS, if you're going to break out and go $2 on AMC and one of the sympathy names doesn't budge, that's a short. To me, that's why we talked about that chat there. GameStop is trying to go. I think it still has room to that 200 level, but it went like $2 on that same move, so not much of a budge, but it still has 190 to break. I just think it runs into resistance at 200, so you want to wait out for that one. But Intel's got to be a buy the dip for me, and it has to be off of these 50.5 lows, but NVIDIA will be more aggressive buying in front of the current breakout price.
Okay, so just going back to AMC here. So okay, so now we're only holding 30% of this 29. I mean, we can't, watch this hit 30 and then just be like, okay, now let's go to 31. I mean, we'll hold the 30%. My next offer is at $30.40. So that's going to be my next one, and then we'll wait to see where it goes from there. I don't really have any targets to the upside. I'm just super happy that we were able to get that 29, man. That was like, okay, I didn't think we'd get it this early, but we did get that name. So yeah, I was looking at AMD. We already talked about this. I think it's great. We're very close. I like that 123.30 level. We talked about that. Looks like we'll probably be able to get it coming up very, very soon. It's right here, so if it breaks that high, I think we'll take it. But at the same time, I don't know. I don't like taking breaks real early, so I'm actually going to cancel that right now. So there we go. We'll cancel it. I do like that break though, 123.30 on AMD. I feel like you have a nice little base here, and we're trying to go higher and higher on this name. It's been a good one for AMD shareholders the last couple days. I mean, you're up 20% in about a week and a half, so it's a great move. You're well above the 50 period. Well, not well above, but you're above the 50 period and the 200 period right now. I like AMD. But again, we talked about this earlier, and that was just, you have these moves, right, where the market won't necessarily go in the direction that it should or that you think it will in the first couple minutes. So why would I punch a long here on AMD? Like, I could go long AMD 123.30, then it drops to 122, and then what am I going to do? Then I have to either say, okay, I'm going to try to hero hold this, and then if the market decides to go down, I'm screwed, because then you're going to get 121s, 120s, and I'm stuck with a $3 loser when all I was trying to do was play momentum that didn't exist. So I'm going to let it try to base out. I want to look at AMD. If it does base, and then we could take 123.30, then I'm all over that name. So AMD, I really, really like it. I love NVIDIA. I've been a buyer of SMH this whole way down. It was my pick of 2021 was SMH. PayPal was 2020. 2020. SMH, of course, is NQ name. But there it is, up to 282. If you want to get a little piece in all of them and you don't want to get super aggressive, there's the SOX. This is not going to load. But there's all these different names there that you can get involved with. I like the SMH. Gives you exposure to all those names, the Intels, NVIDIAs, Microns, and all that other world. But here it is, just a nice little move up, bounce up here in the SMH today, up to 282. It was bottoming. Like, if you wanted to get aggressive with it, I mean, it was just at 230, 240. Now you're up to 280 again. Like, that's a pretty monster move on a big-time ETF. So I'm super excited about these names, but really I'm just excited about AMC right now. We have Ford on the board as well. A quick little look here at the imbalance locator before we go. Back to Brendan. NEO, Ford, they're all here. There's CCL. Someone actually tweeted at me, and thanks, guys. And if you respond to the sticky note, I'm going to try to go over there and like your comments. So if you guys go over to the sticky note, make a comment. I will go over there and like it, depending on what it is. And, hopefully that'll help a little bit as well. But DD buy, NEO a buy. Maybe these Chinese names are getting ready to rock and roll as well. We'll have a look at those once the market opens. But we got some more ideas on the sticky note and on the watch list, tradertv.live.
Just a heads up, guys, AMC getting a CNBC mention currently as well. So that could be helping a little bit. Uber on the list again. If you remember last week, we had Uber making moves. I think it was this day. I want to say it might have been Wednesday, actually. All that huge volume candle anyways on Uber when they came out and said they were adding all of New York City's taxis to their app. Reports this morning suggesting there's one taxi company in San Francisco that could do the same thing. So 2.6 here for Uber extending its rally as well.
Yeah, super strong chart. The same way that it broke that 34, and that's why we liked it last week, it's now breaking this 35.5 area. So simple, buy the dip in front of it. 34.60 is going to be the stop on Uber. But there was just to talk about the semis there, and I saw someone mentioning Micron, and Dinesh asked in the chat, it's like Micron, which has been relatively weak, yeah, let's short it. Everything about Micron being relatively weak had to do with the fact that it could not get through this 81 price area. And you can look at the last couple weeks. It's now breaking out past this level. Right? Like I said, there's so many things breaking out. That's not one that I would be fighting. I would not be fighting a short when you've been coiling up on Micron this long and looking like you're going to head to a breakout. I feel like that's just as good of a dip in front of that 81 price. And as long as we hold above that, you got to be able to turn bullish. If it wants to fade that, fine. But that's the kind of breakout that usually leads you to a couple of days worth of a run. And you got to be wary of shorting things that are literally breaking out in the first day on the higher time frame. So be careful if you're trying to short Micron. That's just my take.
Yeah, I'm not shorting anything, not today. I mean, the market's nicely doing some moves. We'll see what happens on this one, but we were talking about Uber there. And I did see, I see Henry. What's up, Henry? And I see you talking about Palantir. Big surprise there. But yeah, I do see this news right here, and I just searched it up on Twitter, and it's between Google and Palantir. And again, it's from Palantir, so Palantir Daily, that's not going to be an official website. But anyways, this is not a joint partnership. It's just Google is recommending Palantir to clients is what I just found there. I don't know if there's going to be anything more to this story, so I'm going to look into it. But just to let you know that I am looking at this stock. But again, with only 8 minutes to go, and I'm already in this few positions here that I really like. Palantir, come on, charts, let's go. It's been a nice aggressive move, man. $10 to 14, we'll take it. We'll take that all day long. Palantir's been a monster here. We saw the moves in Snowflake yesterday. I believe Palantir is a buy even at these levels. We're just now getting above the 50 period. Well, not just now, but bouncing around the 50 period at 1280 or so. So we're back above it. And I said, as soon as we get the all clear, like through this 1455, then it's Palantir to the races, and we probably see 22, 23 bucks. So I really like maybe by the end of the year. I really like some of those levels. I mean, if the market really takes off, then yeah, Palantir can get higher than that. But why not? I mean, if you could say to yourself that you can get a stock to go from 14 in this day and age, this market, even up to 19, take 50%. Well, that's almost 50%. That would be a 21, 50%. 40% on a name this year would be fantastic. And you've already got that in Palantir over the last 10 days. But you can't have to bottom pick. Right now, we're at reasonable levels where I think you can expect to move up. So we'll have to watch out for Palantir. I do like it at this 14 level. We'll see if it comes through. You have a beautiful base down here, but it's not till 13. And I don't think we fall that far. So Palantir, for me, obviously a stock that's always on my watch list. But the thing is, I haven't traded in a long time, and you guys know that. So for me, I'm always called the Palantir fanboy. Haven't traded it in a while, but we'll be back on that bandwagon. And I do got to give a big shout out to my main man at Trader TV, Prad, for hooking up the Palantir hat. So I keep that right here, right now. And we keep our lucky, Neil, for you as well, our lucky Blue Jays troll here that I found, and this is from the 1992 World Series, and
Maybe
it has.
they'll make them again.
I don't know. Yeah, hopefully they do. This is a nice one. It has all the scores and everything on the back, and it is an official Wowee Inc. from Quebec there. So we'll see what happens here. That's who made it. Forest Trolls. Oh, look at that. We even got the sticker. We even got the sticker on the bottom there.
Well,
I didn't even notice that.
It's legit. You got to keep the
It's like
packaging
when you-
on there.
that's what I mean.
It's been it's been touched, but obviously
But pretty untouched here.
It's pretty
and there it is. So Blue Jays over 91.5 wins this year. We're already all over that.
They're winning the division.
I've got them winning the East, and then I have a hero play on them winning the World Series. But once you get there, anything can happen. So I don't know if they're actually win the series.
Three things quickly.
There goes AMC, by the way.
Yeah, AMC just broke out. We're gonna check GameStop. I took short on COS after AMC was stalling at 30. That
ya.
stops out. And the odd thing, no, the weakness is still in DATS. That looks like it's ridiculously weak. I mean, now that's actually churning to the downside when everything else is ripping. DATS might end up being an all-day hold. But GameStop still 400,000 shares of volume and not doing anything. If there's a turn, I was going to say go to COS and I'm already in DATS. It might actually be GameStop that's the weak one right now. It actually turned red on the session, which is a little bit shocking to me. I also got Tellurian to the short side, obviously with the good news coming out of Russia. Natural gas still holding some of the highs. I know oil's up. Oil has come back, but natural gas holding some of the highs. I just like the short on Tell after the parabolic move it's made and the news that came in this morning. So I just got that one in front of $5.
All right, quickly on cost first. It took the top off there. There was a monster volume spike. They tweeted something about a USB-C Lightning utility jack, which apparently will allow you to connect any wired set of headphones to any phone that doesn't have a headphone jack. So heads up on cost. There was a note that came through there. Oil to the downside this morning on these positive developments in Russia, guys. What do we do with oil stocks?
I was looking at the stocks and the reaction that they had to the move. It was solid, but it wasn't. When you look at the chart, it's not really overwhelming. And I feel like there's at least some potential downside before you get a break back up. Now, unfortunately, in the case of Occidental, you're watching it through this 56, and that's probably the level that I think you wanted to be shorting into 57, 57.5, $1.50 worth of risk as opposed to $2.50 worth of risk. This is what led me to Tellurian, because I sort of felt like some of the nat gas plays, it had gone so parabolic, and once you put this kind of a breakout back out, so at 5 to 510, and then in 2 sessions you make a wick top at 6, and then you're slamming back down, I look at that consolidation point right where we are, 490, probably about till 520, and that was a reasonable channel. And with nat gas actually trying to still hold to the upside, I feel like there was potential room here. So I'm going to have this one to about 520. Not going to get too stubborn about it, but I see the parabolic move that it made. And if we get a chance at Oxy a little bit higher, I would play the short for today, just thinking that you might see a bit of a pullback that hasn't yet really happened too big, relatively speaking, in some of those names. Like even if you look at Chevron on the daily, it's just nowhere. Like it's pulled back a little bit, but really, like you're still within 10% of that high. You're nowhere close to that 55 support. I love the name, but you're still very, very close to these highs. Not much of a pullback at all, which does lead me to be very, very patient with where to buy the dip.
Okay, guys, I'm going over right now and liking some of the comments here. Thank you for all the love again on the sticky note. A lot of people talking about, again, just very, very humbling, and thank you so much for all the love there on the sticky note. We just took another piece out right there, as we said. I mean, this is what the People's Trader is going to do. I'm going to give you my ins and literally my outs. So there it is right there, $30.40. I told you that's where my offer was. It ran right up to me, hit me right there, makes the high of 30.50. Now we're only in 20%, guys, of our AMC. So now I don't have any offers left. If it wants to run, great, but I do want to be able to get lighter on the stock. Like I just said there, that's going to take take it out again because of the fact that this is going to be a busy name, right? So we want to make sure that we can reload if we have the opportunity to. So watch out for AMC, and I see a lot of you guys there in the chat. Yeah, you're all with me, so that's great. Let's just keep on going. And if you're not, I mean, you don't need to trade every name under the sun, right? Just if it's not your thing, AMC, then it's not your thing. I'm also long Ford right now, and again, breaking through 17. That's going to be a good trade, hopefully, as we're starting to take out some of these levels here. Let's just see. It was a monster day yesterday for Ford, and I don't really have an out here in case things go sour, so I do have to do a little bit of work. I did write it on the sticky note here, and I said 1640 on the sticky note as possible support for Ford. So I don't have an early out on this one, which means we're not going to average in just all the way down. If we're going to use some sort of 1640 levels down here, that's 50, even lower than that, then we got to wait before we average into Ford. So I'm excited about this name. My next bid, is in the 70s down here near these pre-market levels. So if Ford does go sour on us, then we have the opportunity to buy a little bit more. And I do like XLE, but we've got to go to Brendan first, a minute left.
Under a minute to go here, guys. GFAI, bottom end of the list, 180, 220 on the daily chart. There's an area trading below that right now. Just a very small starter on GFAI, guys.
Quickly, sort of noticing a story there. Brendan's away from his desk with under a minute to go. Robinhood extending trading to 8 hours for a lot of their markets. And look, Hood, I'm going to quickly get to it here. There was a spike on that news, got up to 13. It's not a ton of volume, but it does bear mentioning. And thank you guys for pointing that one out there in the chat. With Miss V on the bell, it is Tuesday. This market is still ripping here and up that 1%. We don't often talk about it, but some of the chip names starting to come back. Tesla coming back to 1100 as well. So get ready for some of these dip buys that we've been talking about and going over. But it is time to drop the countdown. There she is. 5, 4, 3, 2, and ring it, Miss V.
Yeah, we like that. We like that little let's go at the end there. Okay, so here we go. We're going to, like Neil just mentioned there, we are going to look for some dip buys in Facebook and Softy. We have those written down, but hey, man, we ain't dip buying anything on Ford. As here we go, Ford going upside now. We do have an offer at 09 to see if we can get some out there. We are long, of course, at 01s. This will be another banger if we can get them, but it's not open yet. So the NYSE, remember, has to open its books up and then begin to trade. So right now, not open on Ford, but hey, there it is. Did we get those 9s? No, we did not, but hopefully we will. It's bouncing around 8s right now for Ford, so a nice little win.
Oh, here comes a drop.
And just as expected, here comes the drop. So let's go over to Neil.
Yeah, oh, shoot, I'm on GameStop. Remember I said relative weakness? Like GameStop came immediately, tried to test that 190 area, and then just started dropping when we got down through, 30 on AMC. So, and apologies really quickly there. I'm still in DATS, which isn't moving, but right off the open, it was a pop and curl, a 190 offer, and the second I saw AMC drop, we're able to get the 188 right down into 183, so quick in and out on GameStop. It's just about the relative weakness all morning. That dip happened real fast there in NVIDIA. As it started to come in,
we just crushed that.
Was able to get that 285. So long the 285, gonna have to take some out here. We're taking out the top in the market, by the way.
Holy crap!
So that dip that happened in NVIDIA, like we're actually going the other direction in the market.
Bang right now. Let's go, guys. Here we go. Let's bring it to you one more time. AMD, 70 cents in the money. Off the damn sticky note one more time. 121, we talked about going long on that one. Here we go to the upside again. Boom, $2 on AMC. We just took out a $2 winner on AMC. We're rocking and rolling right now. AMD to the upside. Big time wins on AMD today as well. We're just rocking. These are all the names that we wanted. AMD up to 122, 123. Here we go. If you need nothing else, you need the sticky note up to the upside. There goes AMD, 50 cents in the money. Look at AMC, 31. We have 29s long. We have 29s long. There goes AM. Wow. We're almost up as much as we were yesterday, and it's 9:32. Let's go. Ape Nation United. To the moon we go, Neil. Let's go.
Yeah, we just got 3 on NVIDIA. Facebook also starting to make a bit of a move. Everything's going up, right? Like at this particular point, it almost doesn't matter what you have. The breakout's on Facebook. We're just going absolutely bonkers to the upside right now. The only thing not going, are you kidding me, NVIDIA? NVIDIA's going to get to, might get to 300 to the way it's running. The only thing not moving up is Tesla. Tesla cannot break the top. So I feel like maybe today's not going to be a part of the party. We'll see what happens. Even which this is what happened in natural gas, a bit of a pullback. I'll show you nat gas futures. I'll show you Tellurian. That one's starting to come off. It was all about the fact that oil went first and there wasn't a consequent move in nat gas. That made it easy to put on a bit of a short trade in some of the nat gas names.
Oh my God. Okay. Yeah. Wow. Like I said, I may never vacay again. These are amazing, amazing trading opportunities here today. We are on one. Here we go. One more time. Your boy is here. AMC, $3 in the money? $3 in the money on AMC. Wow. Trade of the day yesterday. It looks like we got it already. Look at Ford too. 30 cents upside on Ford right now. Big time movement in Ford. And we just pushed that button at 8:30. Thank you, Ms. V. Thank you very, very much. We pushed that button at 17, breaking 17. Now we're going to the upside. Already here behind us. We almost got a full floor of traders now. Well, not full, but full enough. And they are loving the movements here today. We are out of some Ford at 1730. If you guys noticed before in the past, look at this 1730 level right there. Pretty easy for an out. Let's go. AMC rocking to the upside now. Still 32 bucks, man. We are on one, and that's about that. So there it is. Love the opening energy. Thank you so much, Chris. We like what you bring into our show as well. Thank you for those super chats. Let's just keep on going. Yeah, all you guys, loving the action here. We're loving it. Let's just keep on going, guys. Thank you so much for everything on Twitter. As there it goes, it's now $4 in the money. Boom, AMC. This is how we're doing it, guys. Let's keep this party going, Neil. Let's go.
Yeah, even, look, Facebook's so good, I'm actually going to use the word meta just once for them. I'll call your name if you're going to go up today, but 229 is going to be that next target, the upside. I don't necessarily think we can get through that 30 point unless the futures keep churning, and we got NVIDIA, which is way stronger at this point. You got to play the strength. The one thing that wasn't there yesterday was the potential for halts. We talked about this with AMC and GameStop. Today, the way it's moving, I would say that's flipped. I think there's a potential for a halt on AMC.
It should be halting
not
soon.
yet, but AMC is now in the realm that you could see a trade halt, guys. So if you don't want to get caught in a halt, watch out for those 10% moves. I'm looking at $200 on GameStop right when we're getting to 35 on AMC. So we had the short and already just put a monster on GameStop, but 200 was the level we liked. Oh, did it just turn without me? Should have talked. Shouldn't have been talking. It just went to 99.40 and pulled back to 96.
Yeah, we got to find some levels here on AMC because this is going absolutely insane with a $5 winner now on AMC when it went to 34 bucks right there. No real levels, though, as I look at some of these charts here for that. But AMC, Neil saying, oh, my God, oh, my God, oh, my God. What's up?
That was it. That was 200. It went to 199.40, and I'm yapping away.
Yeah, you got to, and that's, you guys, that's part of the problem that we have here, trying to make this show what it is, but giving you guys these trades. But a great trade there, as now AMC coming back in as well. We only have 10% left, so I'm trying to hold this name to see what's going to happen. But there it is. It just got squozed to the upside, and now coming back down. Now we need to find some levels to see where exactly do we want this again. 30, 50, something like that possible right now to come through. But right now AMC is coming back down to the downside. But hey, AMD, beautiful trade there. Ford, 40 cents in the money on Ford as we continue to rock and roll. Today, like I said, is another good day, guys.
Yeah, you can't really complain about it. Look, it's just one of those things. It happens to you. Like, you got to be so quick to get that 200 anyways, but we'll knock over DATS, which I feel like was the lowest hanging fruit. Just pick on the weakest thing, and the weakest thing was DATS. It was showing you a gap down, and it was showing your rollover. Now that it's at the lows, if it breaks 230, I'm looking for $2 as the ultimate target. But the chip names, oh my goodness. Like, I don't understand what was up with that dip, but it came right into that 285, which is your breakout level on the daily. Picks us up. Look, if it takes out the high, that's a separate trade. We can always take a long break and start playing in that direction, but we're having some trouble chewing past that 290. So I do want to make sure we take out this dip buy in front of it, and then we can move on to the next trade, which is a potential breakout. I said cautionary tail for Micron. And guess what? It does a bit of a rug pull, but it holds, at least for now, it's holding that 80 to 81 price area. So Micron manages to hold that previous resistance, turning into a bit of a support there for Micron. But the chips, I'm holding at least to that 290 for NVIDIA, but we have to be able to bank that profit. Facebook's still running, but it cannot get through 228. I like 229 in front of 230. That's the target on that name. Tellurian's still working, but GameStop, sometimes it is what it is, right? Like it got to 200, now the rug is pulled. There was an easy short off the open, but that one, now it's like 15, like it's at 185 on GameStop and falling.
Yeah, same thing. I mean, AMC is falling as well, but we're just going to go back to the
money.
I mean, there we go, man. We hit another one. GameStop be damned.
GameStop halting.
Oh, yeah. It looks like AMC might halt to the downside as well. Down here, down 29. Yeah, AMC is going to halt. So AMC right now looking like it's halting to the downside. We're going to get short on this name and then just see where we go. Sometimes you get blown out on these shorts, but we're going to go right now. I got a short. I got it on AMC, but I don't know if okay, there it is. So we are now short now on AMC, and apparently it's showing me down 100. Oh, wow. Look at the offer price on AMC for some reason. So we are now short on AMC, and we are long on Microsoft. Microsoft right now is 50 cents in the money to the upside now as AMC halts. So let's go, guys. We'll see what happens here. AMC, there it is right here. Sorry, guys. AMC halting to the downside right now, and it's showing what, 60 million, or what is that price? 600,000 as the offer right now. So we're going to wait for that one to go. But right here, AMC, a big day here. We'll see what happens with AMC.
So look, they're both halted, but cost is not halted. So I couldn't get any liquidity. I'll double check, but I was able to just get that through 1050 to the downside. So gonna watch these. They're indicating flat opens, but one thing that's definitely changed in the last few weeks and months is on these halt plays, the indicated open price tends to be flat until right before it opens up. So that indicated open has not meant as much as it did in the past. But obviously the shorts have come into some of these names, and that'll just mean DATS will be an easy one. I only took cost because we're still below that 11. I need to give it at least until we open back up. So I do want to see if I can't get more shares if it even tries to make a pop, but I've got to watch that indicative price on GameStop and AMC. If it starts creeping up and we're going to open higher, that puts costs in jeopardy. Tesla, by the way, the market's still looking okay. Tesla coming and churning down into that 1090 area. Looks like it's about to touch that 1095. Did my alert go off? Yes, it did. There you go, Arun. Arun's going to be happy. Like my alert that I used on Tesla when it broke 1100 actually came through.
All right, good job. Let's go over to Brandon.
Just quickly, guys, another crazy mover here. Play. Dave & Buster's reported aftermarket yesterday. Be aware the call is on right now. So they said something clearly on the call. It started at 8:30, just been straight to the upside ever since. 40.5 up to 46 already for Play, guys.
Dave & Buster's?
Yeah, they reported, right?
Earnings.
Yeah, okay. So, sorry, guys. I'm just like too enamored with this. As we were going, though, we did give back our Microsoft trade because, I was
all
watching
the way back
it.
to flat.
That came all the way back in. Actually, on that note, I'm going to cancel my. I'm just really just looking at one trade right now, and it's pretty obvious. So we're going to wait out to see this. I did go short here, just into the halt. I don't know if the short's going to be right or not. We'll have to see where we open up. We're not really tapping anything right now, and there's nothing. I mean, it's showing the 29.07.
Still flat.
That is, yeah, but I don't think it's actually done anything because that's the close price, right? So that's the halt price. So that's where we are short there, 29.07. So we'll wait to see where it goes from there. But that's what we're doing. We're going to wait to see, and that's that. So we're just going to go short because of the momentum. I mean, this thing could pop to $32. I don't know. We're going to get out of half on the open, hopefully, and then I could lose a hell of a lot of money here. So we'll see what happens on this trade. But we've already hit it to the long side, so that's good. All right, Ford. Look at Ford right now, guys. Let's take another piece out here on this thing. Back to 45s. Boom. We're long Ford at $17, and we talked about that break earlier. So in all the excitement that was AMC, we did have a beautiful trade on Ford. Long through 17. I really like this name. I thought this could be, the stock for the year as well. We talked about that, especially when it dipped down. Where's my 1 minute chart, man? I'm just going nuts here. Especially when it dipped back down into that 16 area, let alone 15 where we visited before as well. I really like Ford. I mean, look at this move to the upside, man. Now 1750. We're rocking and rolling on this one. Microsoft, I feel bad because I left that name. We did get out of the trade for that, so we're going to have a small hit because I just went over to it and I was like, I got to punch out. I wasn't even following the market. The market just collapsed there. I liked the Facebook long. Did you get
I didn't get the reload on Facebook. I was a little tighter to 224.5 because that was the level I really liked. Tesla just picked me up for the first leg in front of the 95. I said I'm not going to make the mistake of only getting shares right in front of 90. So I did get the first leg here at 96.25. I definitely want to take some out on the way to 1100 because I haven't gotten fully in yet. We'll be open back up in less than a minute on GameStop. And I think AMC about the same thing as well.
Short any of those?
Just a couple of minutes. The only thing I'm short is cost and DATS. So
all right. Are those halted too?
It's related. No. Cost never ended up halting. That's the reason I jumped into it. Nvidia, I'm not reloading just yet. Want this market to settle down. But the open of the meme names, or whatever you want to call them, That's the next thing that'll happen here. And because I'm in cost, I have to watch this. But I didn't want to add to it till we get the actual open. If these open higher and scream, this is not going to be a good short. I was kind of hoping we'd flush because this one hadn't halted, which I was a little bit surprised at. I would have thought cost would have halted with the rest.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, like, I hope I'm not...
GameStop open.
Oh, did it? Oh, yeah. To which way?
It's pretty flat. It's starting to go up now.
Starting to go up. Yeah. We'll see. Okay, we can look at GME right here quickly. I'm not in it, but there it goes. AMC as well just opened up. So
that's the one that matters.
Yeah. So AMC opened up right here, down to 28 and change. Good move to the down. Oops, I got to put it up. Sorry, I had it on the other screen there. AMC to the downside now. So yeah, our short's going to cash one more time. Feel bad about cashing on the short when a lot of you guys are stuck long, but there it is, a nice little cash out here on AMC. Who knows where it goes now? I'm just going to try to get this out. This is moving like wild. And again, it was just a reopened trade for me, right? So that's all that it was. And right now you are seeing it move very, very violently around here. AMC, we did short it, no problem, man. We actually got out for our first little bit for flat because it did actually open up right where it said it would for that flat trade there. And then now it's just dancing around. I think it's going to be a long at some point here. I'm going to get out of the rest of these on AMC and then just worry about it as I only have 10. There we go. We're out. So yes, made some money on that one. Not as much as we should have because it hasn't really moved, right? Good hit there, Neil, on GameStop when you mentioned that it was relatively flat there, but now it's digging down.
Oh, it just went to like 170. I saw 176 print on GameStop, and the second I saw that, I did add to cost. As long as we're below that 11 mark, I like cost. But this is GameStop. It's still looking pretty weak relative to AMC. Just a quick note that a couple of things are still moving around here, and I will get back to NVIDIA. I don't want to ignore these, but you are headed southbound. So I'm holding the cost short, holding the DAT short, but NVIDIA is now retesting 283. So we like the 282 level. This is time for the reload in NVIDIA for me. It's trying to pick up some 284s here. We don't want to lose sight. It was so easy yesterday, even if you had good setups on breakouts, to lose sight of some of the names that are moving with the overall market. I don't want to do that too much here. But now you're really starting to accelerate to that downside. I almost feel like I want to be adding to the cost, which is basically going flat. I know it's got its own news, but this is overall still part of that meme space. And if these flush and make another halt to the downside or break key levels, remember, we're not at 25 yet on AMC. And I think that's the level that it would probably find all kinds of support, even if it can break through these pre-market lows, which it hasn't been able to do. It is a rug pull, but you haven't broke the first real level of support. 30 is just a round number.
And we're also crushing right now. I mean, sorry again, but you might have missed it. I am long Facebook right now on that 226, and we just waited for it. Like I said, and that's why I was asking Neil about Facebook. We waited for it to settle down. It didn't get to that 224, but I love the name, so we're in it. We're into Facebook now at 226.50, as you guys can see. So it's 50 cents in the money now on Facebook. We have cashed them out on that name, but yeah, so far so good, man. We feel like we're just robbing this market because look at Ford. Like, I'm sorry to hit this money thing so much today, but yeah, we're doing pretty good, man, here. So refreshed, rejuvenated. Shout out to the 305. What's up to MIA, Miami? We got our legs, we got our wings back, man. We're freshed up. We hit that trade yesterday. We're hitting the trade again here today. Shout out to all our new traders on the floor. What's up, guys? Hopefully you guys are having a good time and I'm not bothering you too much. And if I am, well, I guess you got to get used to it, right? But here we go. Let's see if AMC breaks 30 to the upside right now. If that comes through, then you have a nice little movement. The bottom there on AMC was 28, basically 28 flat. I don't know what's GME doing right now, but there goes AMC right now trying to take down 30. I think it's worth a push through 30, just a small amount of shares though. Let's give it one shot through 30 here, guys.
Yeah, Tesla just reclaimed 1100, trying to make the march back up to these pre-market levels. We'll try to get some out in front of 1110 to that upside. Just to come back to the nat gas trade. It absolutely, so Tel flushed into 470. We're able to ring the register on that one. I'm still holding half the position on Tellurian. It's down 11%, so it is short sell restricted. That just means that you cannot hit the bid unless there is an uptick. A few things might fall into that category, the way the market is moving today. Facebook, which was much like the market, booming, could not get past that 228. I was sitting in front of 225 for the dip. You'll see that I just barely missed that entry point there. So unfortunately, I did not get the fill. You don't want to, if it bounces away from your price like that, either get more aggressive or wait back to 224. So I'm gonna sit out until we get down to closer to 224 on Facebook. Gonna maintain the long position because that little pullback in Facebook, the market didn't really do much of anything. We're still holding right around those highs in the NASDAQ. So I see the strength. I don't see any reason to get out of your bigger named long positions. It was a nice little dip there, but the market holding up pretty well in the face of it.
All right, Neil just convinced me. I'm going to hold on to some of this Facebook.
Yeah,
so we are long. Yeah, why not? Yeah, I think I like that. Yeah, let's go. Let's hold on to that one. What's the one you got long? The big one?
Tesla, Facebook, Nvidia.
Yeah. So you've got the monsters. Okay, so yeah, let's cheer this market on. That's for damn sure. Yeah, I'm only long Facebook. Neil's got the beasts on there. Nvidia's a monster. Let's check out what AMD is now that I remember about it. Okay, so is Nvidia not really, because AMD's down near the lows again?
Nvidia's right back.
Yeah, okay.
It's right back at the bottom.
Bottoms, yeah, okay. So that's the same thing here. So all right, maybe weakness in these names. What is Facebook up today, anyways? Facebook, okay, 1.5. AMD only up. Come on, charts. Let's go. AMD only at 0.7. Yeah, so Facebook is super aggressive compared to AMD. But you can see, though, the market just fell down there. So let's just address this, because we got to get out of some of these trades before it gets worse for us. Let's go see if we can get out of Facebook right there. It is. So nice little out at 87 there on Facebook. That's a 30-cent win. I don't want to hold these names, Neil, if the market is going to do this. I love the names, picking them up on weakness. But for right now, I'm going to dump.
Now we're turning.
Yeah, so I only have 20% of Facebook left. So just to give you guys an update, I'm going to hold it. It's not that I don't believe in it. It's just I got to take down below this 226 for me to really be worried. But I do like a 225 long. So I don't know. I don't want to get out just because the market crashed there. We got to stay long some names. And I know I want to trade AMC.
Facebook, for me, is the one holding up the
Facebook is
best.
so strong. What's
like
up?
it's relatively strong, but Nvidia is testing the low. Tesla, we took some out, and now it's going to retest that bottom. I just got the reload in front of 1090 on Tesla, so let's see if we can hold that key price. 1090 was that line in the sand area. Was that Brennan?
It was.
Another crazy one from last week. All G, guys, halted right now. There was a big move to the upside, comes back and halts downside, it looks like anyway. So All G, another one going nuts here.
Yeah, we're just saying there's possibly a problem
Nvidia
here.
just went. Tesla testing that 1090.
Yeah.
Tesla just went. The only one holding up is Facebook, so it'll turn into one of those. When you shake out in the morning, Facebook is held up for the long, and now it's just a matter of the short positions. I mean, I showed you TEL, I showed you DATS, cost, which took some time. I mean, it has its own news, I guess. But with the market starting to come in, it just looks like hold on to your short situation. So it's one of those mornings, I suppose.
Yeah, so right now I just went long into Softy, but what I was really doing here was looking at this futures trade for the NASDAQ here. We are coming back in. That was 15,000 down here. So we did test 15,000 earlier in the pre-market, and we could be on our way now. Remember, this is what we talked about, man. When you're going to try to not to be a hero, but load up some of these positions on some of these faster moving stocks, you do have to understand that there is going to be a bottom at some point, but the market will really dictate all that. So that's what we're waiting for, man. We're waiting for these things to make an actual bottom. And on Microsoft, I've reloaded a new position. We are long right now on Microsoft at 312.19. It's nicely in the money for us right here. Like I said, it's a good thing we kind of got out of some Facebook there. Let's put an offer and get out of some Softy. We just touched out to 60 there and we didn't take anything. So let's go into the 40s and see if we could take a smooth 30 cents on a third of the trade, and then, or maybe a little bit more than a third, and then we'll see if we can get back up to this 313 area. But that's really what we're looking at now for these names. But, as we go, there it is, a nice little one right there. We'll go hockey as the Maple Leafs. Oh, yeah, we had that talk about the jersey. Oh, yeah, there goes Microsoft. It's finally starting to go back up to the upside. So nice little move here for Softy. Let's see if we can get 313. Mr. Softy is in the building. Another 70-cent win here. Let's go for Mr. Softy, and let's go back over to Brendo.
Big volume coming into Fubo, guys. Fubo TV already up 5.75% here, but huge volume spikes coming in right now for Fubo.
And cost of what you would probably expect it would do. It just made the rollover into $10. So I'll take out half in front of the 10 even. If it breaks 10, we're going to work down towards what's the breakup price. Yeah. And obviously, with what's going on in AMC, you do want to see this shake out. I'll just put them side by side so you guys can quickly have an idea. We resisted 30 on AMC, and that's exactly when cost made this secondary pullback. So with AMC not even falling down a second time, cost decided to start to give it up a little bit. I think it's once you find resistance in your meme futures name, I don't have a better term for it. I think the rollover can start. The only long that held up right now is Facebook. So it's a breakout on the daily. The other two did not work. Tesla gave a scalp trade, then a loss, and the same thing happened in Nvidia. But we're very, very lucky. I think, look, when the news came this morning about the positive talks in the Ukraine, and oil was flushing, and nat gas didn't move, like that is a gift horse. That is an absolute gift horse. I like Tellurian. I've said positive things about both their CEO and the company. But if you see what has happened in the last couple of sessions when it broke out and got to $6, it was just so much runway for this to come back down. Now down 15%. You're seeing it push to the bottom end of the range here at 450. And every now and then, it's just having a name in mind. When there's a space that's moving, it's like, oh, there's an equity I like, or there's an equity I know at some key levels. And Nat Gas, Tell. We can see if it holds the bid at 450. That is my ultimate out here. You can sort of see it was a breakout at 450 just last week. That was actually on Thursday.
Everybody's saying to block somebody on chat, Valeria. So please, if you see somebody on there, please do it. I don't know. I can. We don't put up with any like hate or any sort of comments like that. So if you're there, you're not a friend of mine. So here we go. Let's just keep going to the upside now. Oh, I like what I'm seeing there with ARC KQ, my ARC position, looking real nice right now. Okay, so Microsoft. Ooh, we tried to get long there back in here, but it only goes to 311.50 or so. So I'm not sure what's going on with those prices. We just missed the reload long on there, so that's obviously on me. But I missed that dip down. We wanted to do that, so we now put a bid down here on Microsoft, just a little shy of 312. So that's what we like right there. So we're gonna have to wait to see what that's gonna do on Softy. Okay, so our Facebook trade, and again, I sort of went over and I forgot that I threw this because we had such a crazy morning. So I want to go back and look. I liked 224, and I know Neil's also on Facebook. So I'm gonna look for 224 to come in on Facebook. But for right now, it's Brendo time.
Just checking on Upstart, guys. Another one coming up on volume here, 10.5% for Upstart, straight to the upside.
Upstart with this move. It's now case closed. We're done with cost. Cost just bounced off the pre-market low. So there was your rollover. Remember when like AMC halted, GameStop halted to the downside, and cost stayed open. As a matter of fact, tried to bounce. Like I get it. People don't like short. If you don't, fine, fair enough. But you can always take profit on your long when you see a situation like that. And cost. The rollover, it's not to say that it's predictable, but if the futures were tanking and you were holding some of those tech names, they just did not hold up as well. And it's a very similar principle that you're going to talk about. But it's only Facebook right now that's holding up. And we had the one entry in the pre-market. I never got the dip buy in Facebook. I love what it's doing on the higher time frame. And this is what we're sort of talking about, like breaking this 225 area. If it can hold, I have 223.5 as the line, so I have not even averaged into it. This is a longer time frame trade. Like you're breaking out on the daily chart. NVIDIA did the same thing, but it broke the bottom. Tesla did the same thing, but it broke the 1090. Facebook has not done that. It hasn't even gotten to a buy the dip point for me yet. So when I say it's holding up, I actually think it's a relatively strong type of bounce that Tesla's trying to, that Facebook is trying to put in. I'm not ignoring my DAT chat. It feels like it cannot get through the pre-market low here. So in the back of my mind, I'm saying if we get a bounce above 30 in AMC, you have to be concerned with what DATS could possibly do here because it's found a bid at 230. I thought we were well on the way to $2, yet somehow it's holding up.
All right, guys, now Softy is now a 70-cent winner again, so we'll go da-da-da-da. I mean, I'm just doing that because of that. As Microsoft, I don't think, is getting into the weed game. Okay, here we go. Microsoft, we're right here. We're right at VWAP right now. This is a monster win for me. We're taking this one more time. Bang, there it is right there. 70-cent win on Microsoft. Man, like once again, man, we are really feeling the vibes here of this market. A big-time win for us right there on Softy. And it's too bad, too, because I literally just missed the reload by pennies down there. But that's going to happen to you. You're not going to have every trade. And like they said, you can't kiss all the babies. Whoever said that in the chat, I really like that line, and I got to give it to you. If it was you, you can put it in there, and I'll try to give you a shout out. But you know, I don't know if the original person will be there. Okay, so this is it, 28.40. So you can see AMC, it's dipped down a bunch of times down in here into 28.40, 28.50, things like that. I'm going to put a long now down here. That's 28.20. So let's sit in the 30s or 40s. If it does come back down, we have that play. And then what I'm really looking at is because we have it out, if it breaks below 28, then we could just get out of this name. So it's resisted it. We'll put on some shares here. And then if it does break, like I said, below that 28, then we can get out like ASAP, hopefully. So that's what we're going to try to do here. We're getting close to getting longer now in it, or long again in AMC. It's my #1 stock of the day. I mean, Ford was pretty damn good as well, but we had AMC long through all of this. And remember I told you we're holding 10%? Obviously a mistake to not, like how sick would have that been to have a tick up there? But we should have took it out. I mean, when we were long 29, it goes to 34. Maybe you should have had it out, just like when Neil was like, oh my God, GameStop was turning. You could see the momentum switch on some of these names, right? And I mean, just like Neil talked about costs and some of those other ones. So
you know, one of the things when you're watching something like that is watch the bid.
Yeah.
You can get caught up looking at the tape and just seeing green, 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 green. But when you see that and then you turn and you look at the bid and it's not really following anymore, like the spread starts opening up the higher it gets, that just means the buying is really slowing down. And when the rug pull happens, there's nothing to hit, because the bid's already a couple of dollars down before it even makes the turn. So sometimes when it gets to a key level, you don't want to only be watching the tape. You want to have an eye on where the bid is actually going off, because prints can go higher, but no one can actually be on that bid. Vinco Ventures, if you're looking for something that actually is held up, Vinco is about to at least test the high. I was about to say take out the top, but I feel like that's a bit of a jinx. But look at the higher time frame. It is still a ways away from a true breakout on Vinco. So I wouldn't get too excited yet. But Vinco, one of the few names that was that has had a run in the past that hasn't really fallen over all over itself.
Oh,
here.
shoot.
The market is just going nuts here.
Oh, damn. AMC just does exactly what we said it would do. It came down, it tested, and boom! There it is again. Another one, man. DJ Khaled is in the building. A nice one here as we go through 29 now. Hello. Wow, that was, I mean, this is what the People's Trader does, right? I mean, we give you guys the levels, and sometimes they don't win, but sometimes we have decent ideas. Like this one. AMC, look at that buy right there. 28.25 out 29s. We'll take it, man. We don't have a negative name here today as we are rocking and rolling, cooking with gas one more time, man. Wow, what a monster that move was there on AMC. And just to let you know, we got out. We almost out of this trade now. We only have 20% left of our position here as it just ripped. Like, look at that. 28.31 took that. Out here in the meat again. And you know what? If it comes back up to $30, we'll get out again on this trade. So that's going to be a good one. Let's see how far AMC wants to fly. And wow, there it goes one more time. AMC, just $1, Brendan, in just a matter of minutes. Watch out. There's the slap coming through. Nice little move to the upside here on AMC. So we're going to take it out around 29. Let's go like 29.50 right around here, something like that. We'll take this last piece out as our net starts skyrocketing. It's been a big day, and it's only getting better because you're about to see the big board with Brendan Wickens.
Hey guys, just like that, 10 o'clock, a lot of green. Consumer confidence numbers coming through right now. Just a heads up on the actual futures. S&P 500, 0.75 to the upside. The Dow, 0.8 now. The Russell, all three of them in positive territory. Same story for the NASDAQ, leading the way. In fact, 1.07, 1.2 there for the composite and the 100. So a good look, good day so far right across the board. Let's shift over and talk about a few things we were looking at in the pre-market. Tesla gave you a nice bounce as well off of where we ended the session yesterday after a bit of a flush to start things off. This one looks very similar. NVIDIA, same story, comes right back to where we ended the session yesterday, gave you a bit of a bounce after a nice flush to start things off. So we're trying to hold some key levels, guys, to say the least. Back over to you.
So actually the strongest name, and apologies for not saying this, when I was talking about Vinco taking out the highs, or at least attempting to, it's Robinhood that's taking out highs and making fresh highs. Up 11% now and past 14, $15. I mean, you go to the higher time frame. Obviously, $15 is a round number. You go to the higher time frame, and that's the next level up on the NASDAQ. So, sorry, I'm thinking NASDAQ because of 15,000, but $15. I'm not saying it's GameStop 200, but it's a very similar type level. It stands out like a sore thumb on your daily chart. I think until it gets there, it's got to be trying to buy some dips. Like, we're breaking out. Like, it's the first day you're breaking out on Robinhood with a bit of a catalyst. So, I think you're buying dips until it gets to that price. I'm looking at 14 even right now, a little bit late to that party. Facebook continues to just be strong, right? They cannot break through 225.5. It's like, forget about 224. The market's trying to churn back into the upside. It feels to me like Facebook is like Neo. It's the one, but it's not GameStop. And this will be the one that gets away. While you're watching AMC hold 28, GameStop has made consecutive lows basically on every single candle. It's making a fresh low here. And it gets closer and closer to that 165 price, which was not just the 200 period, but the obvious level, just as we're talking about Robinhood. 165 is that monster sort of line in the sand for GameStop. I'm hoping it doesn't halt into that price, looking to catch a bounce off that level.
All right, so we did not reload. We did not reload here, as we'll do some diamond hands. I feel like we've had those pretty good today. As we're going to get out, there it is. So AMC drops below, fine. That's exactly this is exactly how we trade, man. We wait for our key levels, we hit them, then when they come through, we take them, and then we hold, like I said, that last 20% for the dump down in. So we lose 30 cents on that last bit. But again, AMC, my #1 stock today. And I know you were saying Facebook's pretty strong. I'm really surprised as well at Microsoft's resilience today to come to the upside as well.
Yeah, it's
doing the same thing. We're kind of barcoding, but we're not barcoding lower, which is nice. So we'll wait to see on this one. But yeah, Facebook, for me, I'm out of the money on Facebook. It's been a really positive day for me on it. Well, out of the money. We're out of the money 11 cents. But we've hit it. We've hit it pretty good. We should have maybe had the break again at 226 back up. But really, I'm waiting down here. I put down 224. So if the market does flush, we do have that potential to come through as well. So right now, we're just kind of dancing around. I don't have too much expectation here for the market right now, because look what it's doing. I mean, the market is literally dancing at the 50 period. It's a little bit up, it's a little bit below, and these big cap tech stocks will move with those. So, so far, so good. I will look more at AMC. I think AMC was near a level here that we liked. I guess it kind of just tested it. It was this pre-market bottom of 27.50, but here we go. Now's the test. And this is why we get out of the way, man. I don't need to hold this all the way down, right? So that's the key thing right here for AMC, but Brenno's got something.
A little penny stock getting some mentions as well online today, guys. SXTC up 130% on heavy volume here, trying to get it back to 50 cents. SXTC going crazy.
Yeah, I actually had that GameStop in front of 185. It gave a couple of bucks and then couldn't go any further. And there's no way I wanted only $2 on the GameStop bounce or potential bounce there. I just feel like if it bounces, it's probably bouncing 5 to 10, and it just couldn't do it. So 165 is now gone. That means the flush is really on. 28 just broke on AMC. Cost is down around $9. Yeah, and when I see that happening and DAX is climbing up, oh yeah, that's a reload. I'm going to reload on DAX. I'm pretty much right here, right now. I see it in front of that 250 level, and it's the only thing I can find that is giving me a reasonable short entry point. Almost should have reversed GameStop at 165. I'm thinking that could actually potentially halt again if it gets close to 150. So watch out for the halt.
AMC might halt
the other way.
Well,
29
yeah, the problem with AMC is it needs to go. I mean, it's pretty quickly to the downside. Anyways, just quickly here, we did finally get that Microsoft bid that we wanted, that we said we were waiting for. Remember last time it came down here, we didn't get it? Well, this time we did, and it turned out to be a good one, man. We got long 82s, out 98s, 190, 198 there, so we're right back in. We're long 83s, actually, sorry, on Softy. So let's see where this one goes from now, but a nice little move upside here, hopefully for Microsoft coming through. So far, so good here. That's going to be a good one for us, but that's what we're looking for. Microsoft back up to the upside. We're long Softy right now, 311.80. So here we go. Maybe we can get a tick up here, 312.50 or so on Microsoft. Let's put that in right now. We'll go somewhere in the 40s and see if we get it. 312.40 something for Softy. Goodness. Hopefully that's going to be a nice win. I saw, you know what, a news on a firm. I did.
Thank you guys for, was there news on a firm?
I think it's just all these names, man. Remember I was talking about yesterday ARKQ that I really liked, and that was a name that I've been buying, and I'm long this name at $64, and we tweeted that out as well. That's up 1% today again. So just to go over the ARK names, and I think that's just because you mentioned that. ARK, the first ARK is now up. Noah's ARK is up, nicely done, 3%. So you are going to get a lot of bumps in some of these names.
Yeah, and speaking of a firm, someone asked this morning what I liked in the levels, and I think I only put it in the chat and didn't say it out loud. 47 to 47 and a half. Look at it on the 15-minute chart, guys. It just got to that level, so thank you guys for pointing it out. There's a heck of a lot moving. I just took the reload in DAX and was looking for something to roll over into the short. It should have been a firm, and it should have been a firm 50 cents ago. So thank you very much for pointing it out. Going to get over to it right now. GameStop's doing its best to hold 165 here. I got stopped out of my long. I'm not giving it all back, trying to fight the long when you're pulling the rug like this.
Yeah, did you notice Tesla too? Tesla is on a nice.
Got out 1090. Should have been a revert.
No. You shouldn't. Oh, reversal. Yeah. You got out at 1090, right? Okay, good. Yeah.
Got to reverse.
Yeah, that's why I feel good about getting out of like my AMC there is now down to 2650 and still going down. But look at Tesla there. I was going to punch the long at 1100, but the market is failing a little bit. So we'll wait to see the market bounce back and then start to look at some of these levels. But right now we are ignoring that. We did get into Facebook. These are the levels that we wanted to. So you're going to see me right now with an average price of 226. It's a little higher than we wanted to get in, man. We did want to get in near that 224 level. So if we can retrace back up to 226, we'll take out a piece of this trade, like a third of it, just because, and then we'll see if it can get back up here to VWAP around that 226.50 level. I like the stock, Miss V.
Hey, Sean, I'm super happy to see that everyone is so active on the chat. Guys, thank you so much for all the super chats. Welcome all the new members. And of course, thank you all those who are with us for a long time. For example, Alex Anza, who 1 year is a member. And we have a super chat from Garrett Wotow. Can you guys take a look at LOVE? LOVE reported earnings in pre-market today. And before we go back to you guys, I remind everyone to smash the like button, guys. Let's get that 2,000 likes.
The love sack. Love sack. You know what's weird about
No.
What? Soon we'll be making another run? No, nothing.
It's not Love Sack. It's Love Shack.
I know, but it's Love Sack is the name of the company.
Okay.
Come on, man. I got you. You know the weird thing about this?
That was a good one.
And this is
I thought you were going somewhere else with it.
But this is actually true in that this morning I was like, hey, Brendan, man, we could always throw Love Sack on the watch list. It had done no volume pre-market.
That's a bad company name.
I was joking when I said we should throw it on there because it was not doing any volume pre-market, but it is in the midst of a break. And I feel like sometimes ignoring something because it doesn't have enough volume has been the mistake in this recent market, because once it opens up, it promptly breaks out and then starts churning through levels and churning through volume. So setting up an alert, like Arun keeps telling me to do, when it's a kind of stock that doesn't do anything, and then at the open, set a volume alert, set a breakout alert. Once it took out 60, it was in play. It's pulling back in and broke that 60 level. I think 56 is really where you put in that dip buy, but they did report both them in play. We're doing nothing pre-market, but it's very, very strong today. I think you're buying the dip closer to that 56. My VWAP on my chart now is a 3-minute. I used to use a 1. Just a small adjustment there for you guys that are paying attention. But yeah, Love Sack. Interesting company.
I wasn't even following the company name there. When you said it, I was like, okay, this is about to get real weird. But
we've talked about them before. It's just I think we only look at them when they have earnings, which I guess makes a lot of sense. We rolled back into DATS, which happened to be up at VWAP here, but I just cared about the fact that we're plunging in some of the other meme names, and there was a reload opportunity on DATS, but I need to get in front of this 240 level, just pop on the bid here and see if I can get some, because it couldn't break the pre-market lows, right? If you think about this, as much as these names have been flushing, DATS has managed to hold those pre-market lows. It is short sell restricted, which sometimes can slow the momentum to the downside. You have to start thinking about that. And I'm going to kick myself because I was talking about why I wouldn't short Micron because it was breaking out on the daily. Well, when it takes back out that level, that 81, look at that. It consolidates here, tries to go, rolls over. That's almost, when you put it up in the higher time frame, what does it look like to you? On the daily, we're putting in a wick-off candle through that level and bouncing off the 50 period. When you look at it, the 15-minute, it's doing the same thing. It's got that wick-off top, trying to break out, and now you're sort of firmly below. And if Micron does this again and closes below 80, oh goodness, the market turns back, you're probably going to see 75 rather quickly. TEL is just continuing. Nat Gas, obviously with the turnaround, it cannot get through 450 just yet. That was the ultimate target. I'm trying to hold out to see if it can break, but it feels like we're only going to be able to get that $5 move into 450 on Tellurian.
All right, we hit that Facebook, man. I mean, Facebook went right, I don't know if you're looking at it, but it went right down to that 225.50 again, and we're able to hit that. So there it is, man. In 225.50. I told you where we'd get out. Like, again, literally giving the ins and the outs there. 226 out, and then another piece out at 226.15. And then now we'll hold to see what we can do moving forward here on this name. So I like it. Facebook, we talked about that. Neil's on that name as well. The only thing that we did also reload here, which, and again, like, we should have stated this. Like, I knew Microsoft was not going to be as strong. I didn't know it, but just the market told us Microsoft might not be as strong as Facebook. And so there's the reload on Microsoft. We did take it at 311.50 and we got out at 311.85, but we still are holding a piece. So this piece is against us a whopping 7 cents here, and I'm complaining about it, but the market is now fading back in. That's why we're piecing these out, guys. Like, honestly, we're not like sitting here letting these names roll us over. We're getting them out, just like Neil did, got out aggressively of Tesla, just like I got aggressively of AMC, a few other names. I mean, you can't hold these things all day. The market, we've been sort of spoiled. Apple, 10 straight up days, Apple, right? We've been spoiled holding on to these longs. It doesn't mean this market can't collapse. We warned everybody about Friday, right? And so, you know, this could be a big situation. I'm going to wait until 310 now on Microsoft. No more averaging into 310. I don't have a huge position, so this is fine, but I do have to go over to Brendo.
Some of the resource stocks, just watching the market, continue to the downside here. Some of the resource stocks weak again today, guys. I'm referring to the metal names. This one as well, Mosaic, 8.5% after a big slide yesterday. Came off pretty hard on the Russia headlines, but back to the upside for MOS right now. But still, all of those that we've been talking about, CLF is another one in the red so far, guys.
All right.
Yeah, we're just sort of looking at, like, Affirm was now down $2 from that high. It's already starting to go. I just got out of Tellurian in front of 450, and of course, like the second, I'm like, oh, it can't seem to break this 450 level. You get out in front of it, and it just broke the level because that's how it works. But Robinhood, it's hard to imagine if we retest 1,500 that Robinhood's not going to push lower. But it did just bounce off 14. So you do have, look, this is a NASDAQ. This is 15,000 on the NASDAQ. You're pushing down into it. And if we do get a bounce here, then something like a Robinhood, which has held up so far, I'll give it one shot in front of 14 even. I still like the $15 short, despite how strong it's been. But this, the long I'm going to try to take here is simply in front of 14, and the chance that we get a bit of a bounce here, a relief rally in the market. If you're still looking at the meme names, which, hey, they're still moving, so you got to think about them. It looks like the bottom area was pretty solid, but I really was not in the mind of holding a GameStop long. Well, like when it goes down this ridiculous, you're worried about a halt and getting caught in a halt trade to the long side. So we stopped it out. You're getting a little bit of a bounce here. So as it starts to come back up here, given the nature of the rug pull that happened, I still think I'm looking to short pops. 180 stands out like a sore thumb. It shouldn't halt if it gets to a 180 price, but if it breaks to like 185, 190, the halts are back in play. Once it halts once, the halts are in play for the rest of the day. It's shown you how volatile it's been at this point.
This is wild because Microsoft just right now goes down to this 312, 312, what am I talking about? 310 area. So we're long now 310.70. We've just took our average price right here. That's what we wanted to do. So now we got to sort of like pray to those stock gods and say, can you hold some of these levels here on the NASDAQ down here where we're testing that 15,000? We're 30 points away from it. We kind of called this when we were upside. When the market started falling, it's like wait out for some key levels to come through. We'll take away some pressure here on Microsoft, but we're only 15 cents out of the money now on the average in. So this is a name here that we'll have to wait to see if there is some love to the upside. But again, it's just following the NASDAQ. So as I sit here and watch it like a hawk, as you can see here, I'm very focused on what Microsoft is doing. But with that being said, I just wanted to quickly, so I don't lose it, I have a stop order out already. Facebook, I would go long now, but I don't know if this market's going to hold up. And honestly, Facebook is like the last name to crack here. So if the market goes down, I feel like this could really hammer down. I'm not in this trade yet. Well, I'm in it, but I'm not averaged into it. So I'm going to wait on Facebook a couple minutes here before we get into that one because we do have a size position here on Microsoft. If the market does bounce, man, we can clean Microsoft up anyways. So let's see if that can happen, but it doesn't look like it wants to continue to go to the upside here, even on a little bit of a NASDAQ move. Yeah, it had a problem there. So I don't know what's wrong with Softy today. Maybe I missed some news, Brendan, if there's something small on Microsoft, I don't know. But it's pretty weak here today, much lower than all the rest. So we're going to get out here on a 310 break and just forget about it and then revisit this once we figure this thing out.
Yeah, and just quickly, the market's trying to bounce here. Look, we're still actually green on the NASDAQ, by the way. Just going to point that out first. And it's trying to make this bounce, not in front of 15,000, but this 15,020 level. And we're holding out above that particular price. I'll show you 280 on NVIDIA, which I just popped into here. It was consolidating off 280. Same time the futures was making that move. So I just grabbed into the long. I'm not going to give it too far past 280. And then for sure, you have to watch out for those futures. At this point, if you're following something like this, it's going to be all about whether the market holds up. So we'll scalp some out and trying to get the 1-to-1 off a buck here. If we get like 281.50, and we'll take that. And at this point, I don't think you want to try to hold out for any home run longs bouncing off the bottoms. It just feels like if you find a level and the futures try to bounce, more the scalp play. Because if anything, I'm looking for things to still try to short that might be at highs or at decent levels. I can't find too much outside of $15 in Robinhood, but if it has to be that, then it has to be that. Robinhood is still screaming in here, and it's about to test that 1450 high. But NVIDIA, if 285 was the breakout level on the daily chart, it gets to the price, I'm out. Because if it was a good level on the way down and we're heading southbound, then to me it's an out on the way back to the upside. So no hope for a $10 winner here. If we can catch 3 or 4, I'll be very happy to take that the way NVIDIA is trading.
All right, shout out to Marissa, my wife. She just said Cobb salad for dinner.
That'll work.
I'm down. Okay, just so you guys know, we will flush ourselves down the toilet, so we'll get revenge on Softy. We'll get revenge on you, Mr. Softy. It is our only negative name here, as it does break below that 310 and we get out. That was going to be our level, man, and sometimes you sit there and you're like, you got to make a move on something, and unfortunately that was Microsoft, and we got clapped out there. We were looking to see if there was any news on something. We didn't really see anything, so we had to get out there on Microsoft, and that's what that is. So now my attention is going to go back over to Facebook a little bit. As I said, I should have just bought this name instead of trying to buy Softy, because that would have worked and I wouldn't even been stopped out yet, right? So Facebook definitely missed opportunity there. So we'll take another shot on Facebook, get an average price of 225.80 right now. And there it is. So we just buy 80 again. So now that's our good average price. We'll see if it can come back upside. I want to see if we can get longer down near 225.50, but there it is, man. Wow, Facebook just... Damn it, man. Stick with what you know there. Microsoft, we like Microsoft and we know Microsoft. It's just, I said it was weaker and it should have just gone over to Facebook. But whatever, we learn our lessons as this is starting to go back upside now.
Oh, here comes.
Let's look for a 226.30 right here on Facebook. Looks like we'll get it, man. We'll take another 50-cent winner on Facebook. So hopefully we can get that 226.30 or so on Facebook is where we're going to wait.
Yeah, double top on Robinhood here. I never actually got that. Never got that bid down in front of 14. I just cancel it because if it comes in now, it's quite a different story. But it did make the bounce off 14 even, and is the only. Well, I mean, it's not the only thing bouncing. We're bouncing in the overall market, but it's the only thing that didn't go anywhere too far away from its highs. And 15 is the level we're looking for. I just have Facebook and NVIDIA long. DATS, which we've been holding short. Got to watch out. AMC just got back above 28. Robinhood just broke the highs. DATS is now trying to come back. We were able to get some out in front of 240, but it could not take the low. So it's right back to this 250 level. I sort of feel like if we take out 250, which we just did here, and hold above, you give it like that 1,000, 2,000, it gets a couple of pennies above here, you do not want to be fighting this. It might retest higher in the 60s. Yeah, I'm just going to go with that. I'm just going to get out manually, because anything that holds that low and could not capitulate, if I can get out where we got back in here, the market kept on churning lower. All the meme names rolled over, and DATS couldn't break the low of the day. That just tells me that there's no need to fight this one. It's the last short we had on. The next one is very likely to be Robinhood 15. It's now gotten to 14.75. When the market's or when a name is screaming like this, you don't have to be overly aggressive. It's so strong, I would be shocked at this point if it didn't get to that price. So going to wait around for 95 and evens to take this short trade. But NVIDIA is starting to work out here, but I don't expect that we're going to get too much more than like 84, 85 here. We can get out in front of VWAP. I'll be very happy to do so with NVIDIA.
Yeah, good. I mean, I was just going to look at AMD as well, but you're all on NVIDIA there. Yeah, if you can get back up, that's a good one. I just wanted to look Facebook. We're still sitting at 226.30 or so to get out of this trade. We're long at 225.80, so that's a good one. And then Ford, shout out to Randy. Ford right now, I saw Randy here today, I think.
He's here.
But here goes Ford. A nice little move back up to day's highs is imminent, I feel. It's so sad because I was too busy watching Microsoft and should have just looked at Ford here, because Ford came right down to VWAP, and that was a buy all day long. I mean, if there's stocks that we like that are still up, that don't fall when the market does that kind of move, you definitely got to go over there for some strength on Facebook strength as well. As we're about to get out of that Facebook trade, one part, that was Ford. One more name before I go over to Brendan for small cap recap. Let's go over to Hood, because Hood, I think, just took out the top again.
Well, yes.
Yeah, you're actually on it. I was just looking at some relative strength here. Whoa, yeah, okay. Took out the top. Yeah, I'd say so. Took out 1450. Damn it. darn it, I mean, that's about as easy as you can get on that break, man. That was a 14.50 break. Either you're short in front of it and get out when it breaks, or you take that long on Mr. Hood. And I mean, it's just ripping to the upside right now on really on nothing. I mean, they were increasing their hours from 7 to 8, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. But this is just a move in the space right now. Robinhood taking out 15 right now. We'll look to see if we like that, but we've got to go over to Brendo right now and see what's happening now.
Hey guys, busy morning, lots to look at on small cap world as well. This GFAI I mentioned just before the open. This was a headline that came out this morning pushing this thing up in the pre-market. We'll get to that in a second. Wanted to give you my take on AMC. I mentioned in the pre-market just briefly, I wasn't going to short this thing unless it showed its hand. Once we got the down halt, I was just using 30, which was that high from the pre-market, and had bids or offers rather in front of 30. So that gave you a nice secondary push to the downside on AMC. Still some weakness in that one. There's GFAI. Tried it once in the pre-market going into the open there. Got out of that because it was looking really strong, like it might want to run up and halt as we headed through to the open. Got right back in after the open, and a big flush came in on the sell side. So GFAI, a good trade as well. HYMC, this one I was long on the initial move higher in AMC. So get away from AMC, go over to HYMC, get out of that, flip short on the weakness in the whole group there, all the way down to 220. So very, very active, guys. Back over to you.
And when Brendan's happy, we're happy. So good trade there, Brendo, on that move, obviously. And yeah, my number one stock today is AMC. We've absolutely crushed it. So we're pretty happy with that movement. Just noticing here, I want to get back in it. It's funny that you mentioned AMC. I was trying to get back in. I'm thinking about getting back in here on a 28.70 break high. So if we can break that, that would be above the 50-period moving average. The only problem is where I get out. Like, and again, it's not a problem. It's just 28.70 there. The out, I think, has to be like 27.70, and just coincides that, or looks like here that it's near the same dollar worth of risk. And I mean, that makes sense because I think you can get to VWAP there. So I don't mind a 28.70 break, but it just tested it and faded it out. So we'll try right here, 28.70 break on AMC. As long as GME, I mean, we'll always have that up on the side as well to make sure that they're kind of running in unison. But I'm going to try that break, 28.70 on AMC.
We'll do a bit of a spike on NVIDIA. I didn't quite get to that 284, but we started to reverse in the market. We pulled right back down to that support level on the NASDAQ, and you're still able to get $3 on NVIDIA. So I took it. Maybe it gives an extra buck. Who knows? We'll see if it happens. Robinhood, I didn't get the reversal. I got the short in front of 15, but then missed the reversal. And the dumb thing about it is you can fire one order to reverse from short to long. It's the other way around that you have to use two orders. And I still used two orders like a tool, but it broke 15 and got to 15.50. So that breakout trade, the scalp gives you to the next level up. The other name that's making a run here is Robinhood, by the way, making a hard right turn off of 15.50. Looks like that could be in jeopardy of doing its own rug pull. But PIK did make a move into $6. Looks like it's rejecting that right now. But Robinhood, it's a little bit more volume that I'm seeing. So much more interesting name off this 15 to 15.50 area. If it cannot get back through that upside, this could be headed back down to 14 even. You got to watch out for those rug pulls, man. And AMC back at 28, not a lot to see there. But Robinhood looks like it was 50 cents too early.
Yeah, I'm going to have another name here, Fisker, for you. I'm going to go over to Robinhood because yesterday we saw the volume on AMC and it was nuts. So I think we got to go over to Hood at some point. Okay, so here we go. And I missed this morning. I wish I didn't. Fisker's the only other name. So I talked about all the names I own as far as EVs and stuff like that. I do own GM, way like oversized in Ford, and then just a standard position for my tech, which is a big one for Tesla. And then the other name that I have, I don't have Rivian, I don't have Lucid, I don't have any of those. I have Fisker. So we'll go over to Fisker and have a quick look. Not in the money on this trade. Fisker's, I think, has been a nightmare. Not a nightmare, but I think we're long off the look. But I think it was like $16, something like that. But we did buy down around 10. We talked about that again there on some of those bottoms. So maybe my average price is around here. Anyways, it's not a big trade. What we're looking at here, and what I was looking for was the daily chart. So here we go. So let's have a quick look. You know, you're trying to take this garbage out, like we always say. And then right here, if we can just get above, it's actually 1330. But I'm going to take, so if we can get above there, then we can float back to the 200 period, which should be around 15 bucks. So that's kind of the levels that we're looking at for Fisker. But before you get to 15, you got to take out the day's high, right? And so that's kind of where I look at 13.11 right there on Fisker. I do have an order to go long through this break. So if we break above 13.10, we'll go long, more specifically 13.11. Okay, so we got reloaded there in Facebook, and it's a good thing because we actually crushed that name. We actually got that level that we wanted up there at 226. So there's Facebook on the 1 minute chart. Let's have a quick look. So there's our in there, and I told you 226.20, right? So there's, I told you 30, but we got out 24. So there's the out right there. It actually goes up to 55, and then it comes right back into the level that we like. So let's get it out at the 50 period again. So there it is. Another one right there. Wow, spin it. Sometimes you just got to look at these names, man. You look at the best names and you get rewarded. And here we go. A nice little move back upside. Let's take out another piece here if we can. Can we get 30s again here on Facebook? We just bought literally a minute ago 70s here on Facebook. Now we're up to 226.20. So that's another 50-cent win for us on Facebook as it's just continuing to go up. Let's go, man. I'm sitting here waiting to get out in the 20s. Where will we go? I'll give you a tip. It's the high 20s. So we'll see if we can get that going. And then Neil, we're just waiting for AMC.
Yeah, watch out. Well, Robinhood as well. So it looks like it wants to take out the high, but there's another runner. And look, there's a lot. And Bed Bath & Beyond's another one. So shout out to Michael Hebert there. And look, realistically, I should be in Bed Bath & Beyond with you there because we talked about that. We're trading that one in the afternoon because of the daily chart, and then just got caught up with GameStop and some of the others that were making the moves and cost. But 1550 Robinhood, I'm going for the long there. MVIS, by the way, is also making a break towards $5. So watch out for the $5 level on MVIS. But just got the breakout on Robinhood. You know, once it held 15 even, the long on the break was definitely going to be put on. But I think every 50 pennies is now going to turn into a bit of an out. Like, well, quarters as well, right?
Yeah,
but just trade it inside these 50 penny moves and play the momentum. There's really nothing to see on the higher time frame till you get to like 16, 17 bucks. I say that with a chuckle because it's already gone this far parabolic. Usually I'm only looking for a short. In this particular case, it has to do an aggressive rug pull. Scalps them out here. If it tries to hold that consolidation at 25, then it can be maybe an ad off of that 25 level. But always takes them out on the initial break when it's a scalp and you're taking that long at that high of the day. MVIS, as I just quickly mentioned there, was making a break. It did not get to $5 just yet. Load, come on. Trying to get to $5 here. Watch out for a halt on MVIS because it's going very parabolic, not as much liquidity as some of the other names that are running here. So I'd be very, very wary of a halt. And there's zero size on $5. Looks like just any other level when I pull it up.
Okay, what is the situation? Do we have shorts? Do we have shorts on Hood? Are you?
I had to pay for them.
You did? Okay, so I'm going to go pay for mine right now. I'm into Robin.
A third of a cent.
Yeah, that's okay. I just wanted to see because I'm going to try to reverse short if this breaks down, and I don't want to have that, that feeling of, oh my God.
Oh yeah, well you didn't pay for it. It's like,
yeah, and then you're like, oh my God, what have I done? I'm supposed to be smarter than this, but I'm really not.
I do it all the
so
time.
let's just go here. We're gonna pay for the shorts. I'll tell you if there's a difference in price. Probably not. Sometimes they do get a little bit more. Nope. I was gonna say sometimes they get more expensive. That's hilarious. A third of a cent. So like you could basically buy unlimited shorts here at Day Trade the World from Robinhood. Okay, so now we're on Robinhood. Now we're going back up to the upside. I was just looking at it because if we break 15, I think we want to try to go short. And by the way, Facebook, like an absolute money pit today. Money pit, sorry, that's the other way around. Money maker for Facebook today. As every day, man, and for all the traders behind us, like look at that 225.50 level and tell me why you're not long. Let's go back over there to Brendan. What's up, my man?
It's a high short interest kind of day. Here's another one to add to the list. Big Five, BGFV, 33% on the short side. This is one Michael Noss has mentioned in the past. 7.75% already today on decent volume as well for Big Five. Heads up there. Let's get a check on how things over in Europe are shaping up. Hour left in the session over there. Miss V, what's up?
Brandon, European markets are positive. Russia-Ukraine talks remain in focus. Barclays is down more than 3% after one of its top investors offloaded stock, roughly equivalent to 3% stake in the bank. Back to you.
Yeah, we've given back some, but still positive overall, guys. 0.6 for the S&P.
All right. We're just hitting Fisker, and we can also go new trade alert. There it is. We gave you Fisker breaking through 1310 while it's at 1314 right now, and your boys got this one on board as well. As there goes Mr. Hood as well, so we'll check that out. There it is. Yes, 62's out right there on this. Now we'll keep going higher. There it is. Bang again. We just hit our snap the finger, and it keeps going up. And here we go up to the upside. Let's go. Right now, Mr. Hood is in the building. We wanted this trade, and I'm done looking like, you know, as you can see, I've sort of changed my mentality over the last couple of days here. If a stock is doing volume, you have to go over there. I mean, it's always been the way I thought, but like, it's never too late. Like sometimes you see these moves on Robinhood and they don't stop. And so there it goes right back up now 76 on Mr. Hood. So we're going to just keep getting out of this one as we go to the upside. Oh, it's a NASDAQ name, of course. 79. Okay. I'll take some of those. There it is. Bang with another 50-cent win. Neil, I don't know how much you're going to hold on for this, but it is going to the upside right now through 16. So that could be your next punch long, but I'm going to get some more out as we approach 16. Just out at 79 there. That was a pretty good trade for sure as we're smoking today upside here in the market.
Yeah, I've been scalping because when it's this far up, I just feel like it's hard to hold on to it when it's already made that big of a move. It's MVIS sort of groaning about because we didn't have free locates on this one. I tried to get over to it as fast as I could, but unfortunately, you're going to see it just put in that big reversal. It just got through $5, go up to $5.25, and then just flush back downside. So unfortunately, I wasn't quite fast enough to get over to that one. Hood 16. I mean, you can talk about the evens all you want, but 16 is the next level. In the back of my mind, I'm sort of saying to myself, you know, both AMC and GameStop have put in some interesting bounces. 65 was the right price area. Just having a hard stop was the wrong call on GameStop, but it hasn't been able to get through 180. So while AMC's not really doing much of anything, you did have a $15 bounce on GameStop. So if it rolls over again, there's room to the downside. And it's about to take out this 172.5. If it takes that, I'm going back into the shorts there. Brendan?
There's this IGMS as well, guys. This was out in the pre-market. They signed a collaboration deal with Sanofi on the research side. It's a bioscience company. I just noticed, though, this also has a 14% short interest. So IGMS just took out the high.
Not on the watch. That was on the watch list.
Was it? I don't know.
Yes, it was. Yeah,
I don't scroll that low. But yeah, I did see it on there. I think HYMC might have been as well on there. But okay, so just a little update here. We are looking at Fisker. We're watching Robinhood, but we're almost out of that anyways. We do have about, actually, no, we have 30% left on that name, Robinhood. But now we're looking at Fisker, sorry. It looks like it stopped there at 14. I'm a little nervous. Like I thought it would run a little bit here. So we'll take a little piece out if we can at 11 and then just sort of move on from there. Facebook, though, as you guys can see, oh, shoot. Fisker just ripped up through that. Now we're going to 13s. Let's put an offer now at 14 or so because that was the high there. I don't want to be wrong on this name, which is fine. It's just I have to average in back down here to 13. So if it does come in, I'm just going to take away a little bit of pressure by putting just taking money out of the stock. I mean, I'm not doing anything wrong here. We're long at 12s. If I can get some 14s, that's 2 pennies. I know it's not that much on Fisker, and we do want more. My offer is legitimately at 20 right now. So if we can get some, there it is. Just rips right through me. So here we go. Fisker looks like it's going to be a good trade. I'll hit the trade alert for you on that one. Facebook still 12 cents in the money, but it just gave that reload again. And of course, I was looking at Fisker, so I don't have it. But there's the reload again. And I yelled it to all the guys behind us. 225.50. One more time just came in. You're welcome for 40 cents there. I don't have it, so who cares? But Robinhood still trying to go up. I think it's a good level. And what we're doing here, it doesn't matter if Neil and I missed the trade or anything. It's just sometimes you got to look at some of these levels. It's going to be nasty when it breaks. But if it doesn't break, then, you kind of sit here and you just massage this trade. I think this trade is setting up to be, it's a lot of educational pieces here. A possible trade of the day on Facebook as well coming through. But you know what's really rocking and rolling, which was a fantastic idea. And also, guys, you have to, if you're watching, thanks so much. Go to @TraderTV every single day. I post what I believe are my best ideas anyways. And today, Ford was right there. We talked about getting long on Ford 17. Look, just getting through some garbage, take 17. I mean, it's right there. And there's 70 cents now in the money off that trade. Not only did I like it, man, I hit it at 8:30. So that's how much, actually 8:30, 8:25 we hit it. That's how much we liked it. You gave you tons of opportunities to get the same trade as us. So there it is to the upside. We're almost at our best spot we've been at all day here as the market continues to sort of fluctuate.
16 just came in.
Oh, on Hood?
On Hood.
Oh, okay, good. I didn't have any offers there. I had 95s. Unbelievable.
I just got out most of mine in front of 85. All of it in front of 85 on the turn to 16. I did not short the 16 level,
That's
unfortunately.
unbelievable.
Probably should have. I should have shorted that level. I didn't do it. I just got out of my long in front of it. Brendo?
Speaking of taking out day highs, this was the Porsche news yesterday for QuantumScape right there. Just taking out that high for QS, guys, up decently as well for QuantumScape again.
Yeah, they had the Porsche news yesterday.
Yep. That's crazy. I was literally waiting at 95 on Hood. The high of the day is 94. So that's why I missed that trade. But we're going to sit there again and see.
Always sit in front of those. It's so annoying. Like,
no, but that wasn't. There was no high of the day. It just stopped.
Well,
at
it's an
94.
even dollar number, I guess.
That's
just one of those.
That's why I was there at 95. But we miss it by a penny on a stock that's doing 30 million shares. Yeah. Hopefully it'll come back up and it'll get us hit. So whatever. But it still sucks, obviously. Facebook again back upside. And what else you guys want us to look at here? We talked about QS. Apple's flushing. Someone just said there. Whenever I hear those words, I think about let's go over there and start buying. So let's see Apple now. Yeah, flush. Yeah, good one. Not flushing, I guess. But an Apple to the downside. Okay, I'm just going to watch Hood now, Neil, because we are at that level.
Volume name.
We're back up to 80s again. I might just take this 80 level and then hold the rest because honestly, what's the difference if I just miss it by a couple pennies? One more time, we'll do that. We'll put an 85 or so out now. Hopefully the volume will rip up. Thing is, I'm on paying gateways, so I want to get paid to trade. Today I've made over 120 fills and my fees are $6. So far so good on that one, as we still got to pay regulatory fees and all that stuff, right?
But those are anyways, if you day trade the world, those are pretty small fees. They don't really matter too much.
No.
Like they're tiny.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like the fact that I have to, me and you both, we all have to pay these fees, and I'm only paying $5 or whatever on my fees so far. It's unbelievable. Here comes Robin. We got out at 85. That's fine. We might have missed 95 again.
Like I'm ignoring like $3 on GameStop because the 16 break is more exciting somehow.
Yeah. So here comes 16 break. I think we're going to test that as well.
It's just one of those, like, you see a level like that, and basically everyone's trying that, okay, hit the long when it breaks a level, and then see if you can get that quick little automatic money scalp trade, and you can try holding out on it. I know it worked at 15. I didn't reverse. That was kind of foolish by me to short in front of it and not reverse 15, because that's a better level than 16 every way you cut it. And it doesn't, the daily chart doesn't matter here. It probably has to get to 17 to 17.50 before any of that matters. And again, you could have shorted the $16 level. Anyways, I'm only looking for that long, quick in and out break. While that was going on, I talked about GameStop relatively weak, and it was starting to break down. So was able to get some shorts in front of that 75, already taken 2/3 out in front of 70 even. I want to hold the rest, not to 165, but probably like 67 or 68 in front of the 165. I think that's a good dip buy price. That's where GameStop is breaking out on the daily. And ultimately, I know it's been running for like 8 or 10, how many ridiculous number of days in a row here. I can't even count them up, but this is still a breakout from that 200 period as well on 165. And this pullback, it feels to me, if it was going to terminate somewhere, this is where it would happen. So even a good short, you got to have it out when you're in such a strong upward trend. Oh my goodness, you got it to work, Brendan. That's amazing. It's about time. I've been waiting a long time for Sector Watch to look just like this. You want to know why it was?
I have as well. Here we go. It's green. It actually turns green. How about that? No more blue. Very, very strong, guys. 0.5% to the upside for the board here this morning. Consumer discretionary stocks leading the way right now. That's Ford, 6.2%. GM, BWA there. Tesla down in the corner, the one that is red, but only just. But nice day for consumer discretionary stocks. Some of the hotels, casinos, travel names all back in positive territory after a bit of a weekday yesterday. I was pointing out Under Armour there. UA and UAA, 3% for both while I was talking about the hotels, but a heads up on those. Industrial stocks having a nice day. Yeah, that NLSN deal finally gets done. So $28, it's up 20% on the day. All the airlines are here, positive on the day as well. Tech stocks, positive, financials, and the healthcare group. To the downside, material stocks. We mentioned some of the resource names under pressure after the past couple of days being higher. Energy stocks at the bottom there, along with oil, back to the downside as well. But overall, hey, we'll take it. 0.5% right now for the S&P, guys. The board's green. Back over to you.
Yeah, I just put in there. what you guys, because I don't know, on our screen, the green doesn't look as good, so we'll rewatch it. So let us know
Remember, our
what you
program
think.
monitor is like
I know,
way too bright.
That's why I'm asking these guys. So Valeria, check the chat out, see what people are thinking about green versus not green, or versus blue on there, because we can put it back. It's whatever is better for you guys. I think it looks better green, but we're here live, so a little different situation. Okay, Robinhood, there it is, man. We got it. We got our piece out, just like we said we would. Up here, 1590. We are now flat on Robinhood. The reason why, and you can just see we bought in there. When it broke back down below, we got out of a little bit, but nothing. Each one of these ticks is 10%. So out now, big trade for me. Robinhood goes up the board. Another green name for us today here on the show. So we'll have to watch out now at that 16 level. That's why I got out, because if it's going to work, it's going to work. And if it's not, then there's no point, because we're here at 16. It's either a short at 16, and if you want to put it on, then I can't blame you. But I'm going to wait to see if it does break long here on Robinhood. So if it does break long, then that's the trade that we want. So we'll have to watch out here for Robinhood, trying to get some power back through here. The market's starting to go down a little bit now. Accounts of Polish embassy in Moscow frozen, I guess. I don't know. Some news. Brennan's going to get on. That's old one, but top negotiators, a de-escalation does not mean ceasefire. I don't know. There's some news here.
Just retesting
we're just retesting some of these lows again. So
and
watch
if we're
out.
going to be doing that, I see a firm at highs. Also, I need to cancel a bid on Uber. I got a ruined today. Like, it was a rune. I got the bid on Uber the day it ran last week, and Arun missed it. I missed this, and I'm going to cancel this by 5 cents. But if it comes down to those prices, I definitely do not want to take that trade if it's going to come off those levels. Robinhood just took that 16. I think we're going to, did I hear Brennan?
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify, guys. There was a report earlier suggesting some of the troop movement around Kyiv was moving away. But they were just reiterating the simple fact that that doesn't mean that anything had happened or progress was being made. So I think they were just reiterating that, guys.
All right. So your boys got Robinhood one more time. Let's wait to see what happens here on Robinhood to the upside. We're going to wait for, I was going to say, I don't think that's the flush, so we'll see. But we're waiting here at 16 and change. Obviously, we are long now through 16. We did not like the short. We talked about why. Momentum's your friend. Trend is your friend. So we're going to continue to play that to the upside now. And look, if it breaks, it breaks. I mean, I can afford to take this. We've had a very, very positive day today. Really, really happy with the performances. And I hope you guys are happy with the show as well. And thank you for watching. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We are rocking and rolling, and we're trading everything under the sun today, man. AMC, AMD, Ford is a banger. Bye-bye, Robinhood. Let's go, mamma mia. Right now, as Robinhood starts going, rip it to the upside, man. Man, have we been on one with these stocks lately. AMC, bang. Robinhood, bang. Let's just keep going to the upside now. Facebook, boom. Everything, man. What a great day, and I'm glad that you guys are here with us.
Yeah, and I got Robinhood as well, but I just got into that Affirm short. It got back up towards those highs. I mean, the market breaking down, I don't want to say finally, and Affirm coming right back into that same 47 top. So I did take this one off the high just now. It does have a 15 top. I'll probably give it at least to the quarters. I know if it tests at 47.50, I probably want to take 2 cracks at it, but you don't want to get too far out of bounds there. Continue to want to take some profit off on Robinhood as that just continues. It didn't get past the 25s there, but we keep saying every 50 cents has been a punch, which means every quarter is definitely a place that you can think about taking profit. At this point, it's like a get in, take your profit and get out, and rinse and repeat, and just sort of do that until it gets to a significant price level, because there's really nothing up here until it gets to like 17 bucks. Really on the daily, that's the next level up. So if we're either at that price and looking for a short, or we're still trying to get that long bounce play in and out as many times as we can on the way up.
Thank you, Kathy. Thank you, ASMRP Patrick. Thank you to everybody for all your kind words, man, about the show. And thank you to Pro Day Trader as well. We know you for sure. Thank you so much, and thank you for all the love for all you guys on Twitter as well. Oh, and by the way, cha-ching, cha-ching. Let's go Fisker, man. We gave you another one. That's another one here. So Fisker, a nice little move to the upside, but we got to, let's switch our 19s to 18s here. If we can get 18s, that would be absolutely fantastic now. Robinhood through. No, sorry, I thought Robinhood was going. Okay, there it is right there. Yeah, Fisker, buddy. There's another win for us. Let's go with a little bit of a dance right now. That's it, man. All we're doing is stack, 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 stack today. We're doing another one for you here today, live. And the thing about it is, like, I'm sitting here exposing everything that I'm doing. Every single trade I'm in, I'm giving you why. I'm giving you my ins, my outs, everything like that. I hope you're enjoying the show, and I hope some profits are following you. And ultimately, man, we just want to educate. And if you guys can do that, understand why I like some of these names, understand why we hammered that Facebook long, why we hammered this Fisker long, why we're in Ford today, then that's all that matters. The share size, irrelevant, because you need to be able to make the trades and be confident at what you're looking at. The only red name I have today is Microsoft, which is unbelievable. Normally this is the name that I kill the most, but look, AMC monstrous today, AMD monstrous today, Ford, I don't have to say that anymore. Facebook, come on, man, I just talked about, and like I said, hopefully the guys behind me here, 225.50, boom, look where that's at, that's $1 in the money. Fisker, we just took that live for you, right in front of you. Robinhood, I can't be happier with the Robinhood trading other than that I'm not long earlier. And then Microsoft, we just reviewed it. So this is how we go. Let's keep this party running and back over to the desk.
Moderna running here, guys. They just received FDA approval for a second booster dose. It looks like it's going to be at half the amount, apparently, as the first one. But nice move here, 4.5% straight upside for mRNA.
It looks like Hood's starting to reverse a little bit, so I'm going to take out the last long. We took the breakout trade, and for me, every single breakout trade, you got to treat it as such. Like, a breakout is not a hold it all the way back in. When we break consolidation, you get back out of it because it's a shorter term duration. In addition to being less growth, it's shorter term duration of the trade. I thought we'd get to 17 on the daily, otherwise, 16.25, nothing to it. I mean, if it wants to turn here, it can turn there. And there's nothing you can do about it at that level, unless you have like a bit of a crystal ball. But Robinhood is still doing huge volume, which is hard to see. So I will do that thing where I try to pull up volume right here. It's still doing pretty good volume up at the top. So it's hard to imagine we've made that. A lot of times you make a wick off top, you get a volume spike through the high, and then start having volume taper off a little bit after that in the consolidation. It hasn't really done that yet. So the other sign that I'd look for top really hasn't materialized. The first top high a day happened on a firm. The second level is 47.50. It didn't broke up to 47.50. It shorted in front of 47, out in front of the high of the day. Shorted here in front of 47.50 now on a firm. And for me, Facebook, really nothing changed all day long. And the trade is just a simple break. It never even dipped. So on the higher time frame, like, zero has changed. It's right still here off of that breakout price at 225, and it has not violated the lows. So the next target for me is going to be that 230 level. If it gets there, great. If it doesn't, it has to actually break below those lows to want to get out. It never even came in for the dip buy. And if the market reverses here, it's been relatively strong pretty much the entire day.
Oh, man. We're just glad that we're back trading with you guys. I've had like 2 of my best days of March coming off that vacay. So I said no more vacays, but I think we have to have more now. So I'm currently in talks to get more days. But here we go. Look at Fisker, guys, 13.25 now. Like, we had this at 13.11. We called it out. We gave it to you as clear as day. It did go against me about 3 pennies. So now that we have a 13-penny winner, why don't we take some out? So that's exactly what we did. We let this thing float all the way up, man. And then there's the outs at 13.25. And if you look back here, and this is why I keep mentioning to you guys about education and things like that, look at this top right here, 13.30. So we're bouncing against that right now. So these are good levels to get out of some of these trades. So here we go. Nice little movement back up to the upside, man. What a day. What a day. This has been a fantastic day for trading. And just to notice it, Brendan's going to be over there talking about Money Talks in a second. But Brendan, give me a thumbs up. Did you see anything on cannabis lately or no? Like in the last 5 minutes? No, okay, so right now something's going, yeah, because CGC right now is literally just goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 candles in a row to the upside. And so we're going to find out for that. But look what else is happening. Kaboom! A little face slap action as there goes Facebook. How many times do we need to say this? Facebook is on one today. A nice little move to the upside. Your boy has $1.20. You're out of Facebook, but that was a good call.
Nope.
No, you're still in it. Good. So Facebook, we're still in that name long. Oh yeah, there it is, right there. Only one position. That's funny. And
I'm just trying to get shorts on sundial. When I saw that spike
yeah,
up,
that's what I was wondering about. Brandon just ran back to his desk right there, but I didn't want to do anything with CGC guys until we broke 9. So I'm going to try to stay to the same kind of rule there. And now that we don't see anything, Neil's looking at that. But look at this Facebook trade, guys, straight to the upside. Are we calling for Brendo? Just give me a thumbs up when you guys are ready. Not yet? Okay. But here goes Facebook. Nicely done to 227 and change on that upside. Okay, new trade alert. Wow, like what am I doing today? I'm just going nuts. AMC, new trade alert. It breaks that level to the upside of 28.75. So we are in AMC right now. We wanted it to get out of this level. So now we're in it. AMC to the long side, 28.75 long on AMC. And here it goes. Now we are ready for the man, the myth, and the legend. It is Brendan Wickens.
Hey guys, yeah, Money Talks brought to you by the Small Exchange this week. Use the QR code at the bottom, guys. Check out the smallexchange.com. Get started with futures trading. There's no pattern day trading. There's less capital required. Use the QR code. Check out the Small Exchange. Here we go. Big move down in the US dollar today. Almost a full percent on those positive Russia-Ukraine headlines. That means everything else sharply higher. You can see a lot of green on this board as well. A full percent. That's a euro on a daily chart over there. A full percent back to the upside here for the euro today, back above 111. Our Canadian dollar was down about 0.5% at one point, now back in positive territory, so moving higher as well. British pound looking good. Japanese yen, Swiss franc, Australia, New Zealand, all big moves back to the upside, including, yeah, look at the ruble today, up 15%. On those headlines as well. So the ruble making the biggest moves. Cryptocurrency is pretty quiet, but it's been a positive couple of days for those guys. Back to you.
So if you were watching the last couple of days since the news in cannabis, one of the things we were using was Tilray as a bit of a futures trade. So the pop up from the lows here, you started reversing in this high, and you'll see on a 3-minute, these are both 3-minute charts, you've had 2 consecutive down candles, including a wick top on Tilray, and you just put the first curl in on sundial. So that's a pattern which was just, I don't want to say it was free money last week, but every single time there'd be a leading move on Tilray, you could just sort of fade it in sundial a little bit later. I quickly paid for the shorts when Sean mentioned CGC was going and got 75s. I'm trying to get a few more, but it might not happen. VWAP's only a couple of pennies down, so you do have to start getting out in front of it, I do think. And if you're going to play it as your futures, well, guess what? You have to watch Tilray. If Tilray starts bouncing through the highs, that can be your exit. Sure, 75.5 is a level, but you also care just as much about Tilray and where it's going. So obviously we know that there is a potential of passing the vote through the House. The Senate's obviously a different story. We'll keep our ears to the ground on anything that does develop, but it seems like they all just ran on air.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it goes anywhere, but I'm long these holding bags from a very, very long time ago. I think it's actually in my Twitter profile there. But okay, AMC, man, another one. We destroyed that one. We do have the Ape Nation. Well, I don't know why I didn't hit that more today. I was like, what am I doing there? And then we like this one. These are the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. Where is that beat? There it is. Is it going to work today? Yeah, there it is. You guys want this beat back, and it's back right now. So here we go. Let's see if it goes back up to the upside. We're going to see about getting one more piece out of this name, AMC. I'm just trying to scalp it there. It's 74 break. All these outs are in the 90s, including my best out of 99, which we're at right now. So we still are holding 40% of this. I do have an offer right near VWAP, which is 29.20. So we will get out of some of there, around there, if it does go back up to that upside. And again, it's I kind of feel the same way. Like, I don't know what's up there for AMC, but it's developed a little bit of a bottom. And look, this can get, this was just $13, right? So let's not pretend it can't go all the way back to 34, because it can, or all the way back down to like these low 20s again. Well, let's say 26.50, it could go there as well. So that's what that's doing. Fisker, man, I'm just, honestly, like, this name really surprised me, and I said that to Neil before too. So we're firing off some hot dogs and everything, because this has been a monster
Rivian
day, man. Yeah, Rivian above 51, Neil said there, up 11%.
14%.
Okay, before we go to Brendan, let me just have a quick look at Rivian here. Wowee, okay. You want to talk about a break? These are the levels. I didn't even realize this was happening to Rivian. Once I realized the destruction that we have here on Fisker, and by destruction I mean upside for the net, you could see that Rivian Rivian would have been a good one. And then let me guess, our friend Lucid obviously on one as well to the upside. Let's see. Oh, only 8%. Okay. So remember, Rivian has the backdrop of Ford and Amazon. So that's definitely on one there for those names. Ford right now, by the way, ho-hum, only 80 cents in the money on that one as well. But over to the big desk, Brendan time.
So many runners. Was just double checking, guys, on, Rivian, not seeing anything. There's more fun to come today. There are some actual companies reporting earnings both after market tonight and before the open tomorrow.
Okay. Sundial, okay, so
Micron
that's one, SNDL. Obviously, the big one's Micron. We'll be looking at the middle, too. I love Lululemon there today. One of the best inventions of mankind of all times, the Lululemon clothing line, in my opinion. So there you go. And if you want to buy some stock and then buy the pants, but not, I guess they have.
Don't sleep on Chewy. Like if Ryan Cohen names are going to run, you've got two of them that have made moves today. So Chewy could get a sympathy. Like if there's any kind of a surprise there, I think upside surprise would be the side that you're looking for, obviously. But yeah, we don't want to sleep on Chewy because we know Ryan Cohen names have been running clearly.
Yeah. People on the chat, long on yoga pants. Yeah, I don't think you'd go wrong if you were long on yoga pants. So let's just check out Lulu quickly. So they're going to be in trouble a little bit. I've watched Nike. I'm a shareholder of Nike. Obviously, the rally back. And I'll have to look before I continue to talk. There goes AMC, but Lululemon on the daily chart, I believe it's bounced back nicely off some of these bottoms. So it's just been a monster move. I can't get too excited about earnings until we actually see what they are. So we'll have to wait for those. But here we go. I'm canceling my AMC offer. Forget about that. AMC now starting to rip City one more time. Let's see if we take view up. Let's see if we take 30. We're on one again. My number one stock, the number one stock here on the show today, AMC. So there it goes, man. Ford, a nice move to the upside as well. Facebook, $1.50 in the money. But it's Miss V over there at the big desk. Let's go. I guess what day it is?
Yep.
That's right, guys. Thank you so much for starting this trading day with us. I hope you're all in a profitable territory. And please join Prad and me right after to continue trading. Also, please make sure you like this video because we need just 100 more likes to get our traditional 2,000 likes. And happy National Lemon Chiffon Cake, everyone.
Oh, it's like a regular lemon cake, right? Like
National Lemon Chiffon Cake Day? I don't know. Does that? I don't know the difference there, but
why
that's
is that
good.
not just lemon cake?
We have. Oh, by the way, so our lunch today. Oh, I deleted it, but it was honey glazed chicken. I believe with some asparagus and things like that. I'm pretty excited about that, but we'll see. I just get the salad anyways. I'm hoping there's tuna on it. I like tuna on the salad, so I've requested that. But okay.
Rivian's starting to turn, so I'd watch.
Yeah. And I just want to say AMC right now, guys. Let's go Ape Nation again on those ones because we are holding this name as AMC just continues to rock and roll here today. What a big trade day for me on this name. It's now in the money, another 50 cents. We called out the long. Facebook's $1.80 in the money right now, back up today's high. The only red name we have on board is Mr. Softy, and that's because we did take that 310 break to the downside. Take out our long, 310.50. So we do have a 50-cent hit on Microsoft today, but again, when we're holding $1.80 in the money on Facebook, no problems there. So it's been a monster day, and we're going to continue to throw it back over to Trader Prad, who's going to kill it as well for you guys, live trading for until 2 o'clock when Neil, myself, and Brendan will all be returning. So this is going to be a monster day. Thank you for watching, and make sure you guys always share the feed. Tell everybody about this because, hey, who beats us? Nobody.
Probably not. And look, and realistically, it feels like the market's gone crazier than it has. You got to be trading what is moving here. The NASDAQ has gotten back to 1%, by the way. So the market is coming upside, despite the fact that a few names have felt like they're coming down. Forget about it. Like there is some strength out there. I just want to point out Rivian made a bit of a turn off of randomly $53. I don't know why.
Look at AMC though. What is GameStop
but these names are starting to go back. GameStop got to 180. I just want to quickly go over some of the names here.
On AMC
because GameStop broke this 180 level. I got out of the corner of my eye. AMC's about to get to 30. If AMC turns at 30 and GameStop is still below 180, that's a GameStop short. But I got to watch those two together.
Henry Z, I agree. Neil is the man, the myth, the legend. But I already used that on Brendan.
Oh,
You know, so that's what I'm saying. So we got to
actually, Jeff, for copying Brendan's haircut is amazing.
Yes, yeah, that's the copyright infringement right there, Mr. Mendel, from the OTC market.
You think we wouldn't notice something
Look,
like that?
we're not going to hate on Jeff Mendel because remember last time he was here, he took us all to Super Chicken. Remember that? So we gotta say shout out to Jeff Mendel on the
They've
Super.
been slacking on the fries at Super Chicken.
Have they? But I only want the sandwich anyway.
It's not the same as when we first got them.
Is it not? I only had it that
What happens
one
when you
day.
open up a new spot? You know, and it's like it's perfect, and then they've been around a little bit, and then suddenly the fries aren't as crisp. And I still love Super Chicken, by the way.
Shoot.
By the way,
guys, AMC right now is $1.10 in the money. Like we just took this trade for you guys. I mean, here it is, up to $30 again. Like wowee wooey, as they say to the upside. But nobody knows Super Chicken better than the man we're about to throw it
that's
to.
true. Oh, yeah, it's past 11. Oh,
Yeah.
shoot.
So why don't you wrap this thing up, and then we'll see everybody at 2.
To Trader Pratt and Ms. V, go get them.
I mean, the midday show, it is Market Movers time. Welcome to, obviously, Market Movers. I'm your host, Trader Pratt, and this is beautiful Miss V.
Yeah, this is Super Chicken, Super V, and Super Pratt. Hey guys, welcome everyone. I hope you're having a great day. Please, as usual, be active on the chat, ask us anything, and please make sure you like this video. I hear a lot of traders scream and shout right now. Pratt, any idea what's up?
I think it's about AMC. AMC just took out the 30 level for the second time today. AMC, here it goes. We're 20 cents.